Hello and welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. We are doing a live watch party to watch the Let's Ride Curse. And joining me is my good buddy Clinton Bonner. Adam should be joining a little bit later, but here we are. How you doing, Clinton?
Doing good. Just watching this Jets-Patriots slug fest. I mean, like literally like slugs battling it out 3-3. I think Zach Wilson has, I think, 6 or 7 completions. It's not great. Not great, but doing well, having fun.
I'm watching Red Zone right now because, yes, obviously the Broncos Raiders not quite kicked off yet. If some of these games are a little bit more exciting, we might hang in there and watch whatever these games are that are coming down to the wire. Only 30 seconds left, and the Jets, New England, slugfest, 3-3. Here we go.
Yeah, I guess recapping some of the stuff quickly. Saints are 10 points up on the Rams, and I'm not even sure who the Rams quarterback is right now. It's not even Wolford.
Oh, really?
No,
they put in Tutu.
Yeah, no. That would make me more upset
on the day.
Oh, the Saints, actually, that game's over. So that game has concluded. So that's great. The Rams have lost. So 3-7, which is fantastic. So so Tutu Atwell had a touchdown that made me so angry.
8 completions, as Andy says, for Zach Wilson on the day.
Yikes. I think he just got his 9th, but it went short on 3rd and 1. So behind the sticks. They're terrible.
Mike, are you extra bored today, or are you saying that we're extra bored? So that's why we're doing this.
Either way, or it can be like BOARD, like extra hard, right? Like depending on your board, I guess. Cardboard, board games.
All the board. Catfish the 4-ACA. Yes, as we at least one of them down for this weekend with the Rams taking the loss, and hopefully we'll get to see one of the other teams lose, right? Tomorrow night.
Yeah. Also, like the Saints winning, they're not a threat for playoff. And sorry. Apologies. Thank you, ESPN.com, for nothing. Love when they just automatically play an ad when I don't have volume on that thing. Thank you. But good to see a couple of these teams win that could actually let the Broncos fall below them. Is my point. In terms of a draft position. Right, Patriots are taking a punt return back to the house. They just did.
Oh, I just saw that. I'm just
touchdown Patriots with 4 seconds to go on a punt return. They're gonna win.
Oh my gosh!
JETS suck. Remember, I'm from Long Island. I had to grow up with these people, Brandon.
I don't know how you pick which one to root for.
Oh, no. I hate the Jets.
Either Boston or
hate the Jets. I always respected the Giants. I always liked the way they were coached, the way they played. The Jets were always arrogant, like the fans, like just arrogant. Every time they get a sniff of being good, they think they're taking over the world. We're going back to Keyshawn, days and all that stuff. It is I love watching the Jets lose. My sports hate for the Jets is real high. Plus, I got Patriots defense in 2 fantasy leagues, and special teams points go for that's touchdown for my 2 teams.
So you're extra excited for the.
I'm extra excited because I don't get excited very often, Brandon. You know me. I like that. Great hats. Thank you. Look at that. We're getting Ryan giving us $10 for wearing great hats. So.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Ryan.
Dude, he's the best. He's the best.
He's even live executive producing when we're doing watch parties. This is great.
He's consistent. If he could be one thing, be efficient, but be consistent too.
All right. Let's see. Do we have?
I'm going to switch over to the Broncos game now, and I'm in a different scenario than I usually am, folks who normally see it. I cannot get my downstairs TV to play Sunday Ticket. Don't ask me why or how, or it's not working. So I'm in my living room, daughter doing homework, wife making meatballs, kid playing Pokemon, but I'm here.
Sojin says for the Monday night game, why not 49ers and Cardinals tie?
Is that what's best?
I think we do want a Cardinals win.
I think so too.
Because the Cardinals are pretty much out of it. whereas the 49ers could be challenging us for the division. And yeah, I would rather have the 49ers have the L. Plus, we beat the Cardinals twice. I suppose that doesn't factor into the standings in terms of breaking ties, because we'll have our own 2 games with the 49ers. So
Yeah,
I want the 49ers to lose.
Yeah, I think biggest threat is the Niners. They're actually a good team, and that's that. So I won't even say go Cardinals. I'll just I won't say the things I just said. I won't do it, Brandon. I just won't.
Okay, I'm kind of rooting for the Jets to go ahead and return this kickoff, but
I hope they don't. But
Oh.
you tell me if they do.
We do have the Raiders and Broncos.
I am surfing to that right now.
Yeah, Devontae Adams just went over midfield.
That's good. I have him on a different team. This will be a very fantasy focused one for y'all. By the way, if folks who don't have Roku, I mean, Roku's great, right? Not a paid advertisement. Roku's fantastic, and then the best part, man, the remote listening, where you could just Wi-Fi right to your thing and put your earbuds in. Oh. Lovely. Oh, it's so good.
I think you can do that with the Apple TV too if you have your AirPods.
Makes sense. I am not an Apple. I don't dislike or not like Apple. I just don't have Apple stuff, so I don't own anything Apple besides my Mac, the MacBook, which I love.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm weird.
All right.
I'm weird. All right.
I got to get the game pulled up. I do. Yeah. Raiders. Oh, there's a Broncos player down on the field.
Uh-oh. Let's see how synced or unsynced we are.
Right.
I'm getting a hike at the 50-yard line right now.
Oh, I think you're behind me. I'm to a commercial. Although you might be ahead of me because I go off of YouTube TV, and so I know when I might have to send you the YouTube TV login stuff, because Ab and I we're usually synced up whenever we're on YouTube together.
Gotcha. Yeah, you could do that. I could try that as well. Sam, that's perfect. I think I'm back from I don't know. People are taking sips of water. I know this is very engaging live TV, folks. But hey, we're just here to hang out. Oh yeah, all right. Now I got the guy down, so I'm behind you actually.
All right. Yeah, great job to the New Orleans Saints beating the Rams.
I'll drink to that.
Hey,
I'm having a Sunday beer, which is mostly water at this point, so it's all good. Got to respect the blue laws,
So, Jen, you can't watch on you. Well, if you have YouTube TV, and so you might be able to sign up for I don't know if YouTube TV does like a week free trial, but
is that your local game?
It is my local game.
Yeah, I won't get that as a local game. I don't think. I could try it, but it's probably not going to be my local. That's all right. If I'm a little behind, then you do you, and I'll see it when I see it. It's okay.
Along.
It's all good.
Andy.
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, I mean,
too.
My local, there's a local supermarket. You get a little flavor, a little culture while we're doing this, right? One of my local supermarkets up here is called Big Y. I'm assuming it's not. I don't think it's national, so I don't think you guys have it out west. However, they have Lucy's 16 ounce ultras for $1.50. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. You can just grab 3 or 4, and you're
checking in from Germany, Deutschland.
Nice.
What do you got? And this may be a question to the chat, maybe a question to us, but how are we feeling about Russ at the moment? Because obviously it has not been a good week for him. I mean, it hasn't been a good year for him, but an especially not good week after hearing about all the Tyler Columbus comments. And now we're just getting back to the game here as coming back from commercial. But yeah, how are you? What's your feeling about Russ? Because it's, obviously him being our quarterback for so long, there's still some of those feelings. Oh my gosh, what a great catch by Adams.
Nice. I live in the future. This is great. I'll see it when I see it. I love it.
Dart by Carr. Surtain, there's no way to defend this pass.
Well, if David Carr is going to show up for one game this season, let this be the game, right? So excellent. Not next week, David. No, no, no.
No. No. Woolen, see the fun part about watching this too is it's a little bit of a preview of what the Seahawks are going to face, and so Woolen on Adams. It seems like Adams lining up more on that side that Woolen's going to be playing.
Oh, I'm by the way, the play's just running now, so I'll see it. Oh wow.
You're that far behind. Wow.
Yeah, it's this is what happens on game day when I'm streaming. You know, I'm going through Direct TV. So when you guys are like, when I'm I don't go to the Discord. This is the reason when they're not on national TV. Like I'm that many plays behind. That was reminiscent.
I was in the middle of my commentary about comments about Russell. Tyler Columbus in the Denver media put out a report saying that Russ had been calling Seahawks audibles essentially, or calling plays that weren't in the playbook, and that Denver, it was confusing some of the Denver players, and he'd talked to enough contacts and put out that report on Columbus, who former Seahawks offensive lineman, now radio host down in Denver.
Yeah, I love that you guys on the flagship, you were talking about Columbus, and I had forgotten. I knew the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I knew he was an NFL offensive lineman. And then you're like, yeah, he was on the field during the Beastquake. I was like, oh yeah, like I just, it just had gone from my brain, you know. So
Tyler Columbus, cool. Yeah, go back and watch the Beastquake game. You will see Columbus number, I don't know, 60 something,
like 67 or something like that. Yeah.
I can't remember what his number was back then, but yeah, he was on the field for the Beastquake, blocking for that Beastquake play. And after he left Seattle, he went on to finish his career in Denver. But yeah. Look, if you're a Seahawks fan and you don't know the name Tyler Columbus, I'm not going to fault you for it. But
yeah, it's okay. It's plus, there's a next generation of fans, right? Who were 20 in 2013, right? So, or 15 in 2013.
Pre Russell Wilson time, even when.
Yeah, totally. This is so my quick feelings on Russ. It's kind of like extreme indifference right now.
Yeah,
that's just I'm a strong. He left, and he was intentional about leaving, and he did it for 2 years. Meaning he sowed that for about a season and a half, 2+ years. He was very intent on leaving. He got what he wanted. I'm not bitter or scorn. I'm indifferent right now. I think he's a good human for all the things he did with Seattle Children's. I think he has a good heart, and that matters. In the long run, really all that matters. And right now, I'm just indifferent. And watching them struggle is good because it helps us. No other reason, right? So come next year. It's okay. Go be somewhat successful again, but don't win a Super Bowl in orange.
Right. No, that's where I come down in terms of, like, I can't root for him just because he is the Denver Broncos quarterback. And
right. I hate the Broncos back from the AFC West days. Like that still,
right. It's still there.
You and I were in our 40s. Like they used to beat the crap out of us every single year. So
John Elway.
Yeah, that's not gone. And that'd be again, I grew up in Long Island, right? So that was the one game a year. Typically, I would get, because we stunk, I would get 1 to 2 games a year where I could actually watch the Seahawks. I still love them, which is weird. And one of them would be a Monday Night Football game versus the Elway Broncos. And we would typically get our asses kicked. And so like the games I got to watch was like Elway beating the snot out of us. So no, I do not like the Denver Broncos.
I don't like the Raiders either, which makes this a hard game to root for. And now the Raiders having to go out to punt on 4th and 16 after stalling out. Looked like a holding penalty that put him back to a 1st and 20. They're able to get 4 yards on 3rd down. But now we are going to see this going back to the Broncos here, but hopefully pinned deep on the goal line.
Yeah, you tell me. I'm
fair catch at the 7 or 8 yard line by the Broncos.
That's not bad. Hey, there we go.
Jacob, no, Tyler, he didn't win Super Bowl with Seattle. He was here for all of the 2010 season, and they either let him go, or I don't know if they traded him to Washington. They probably let him go mid-season. If I don't remember what happened in 2011, but he went to Washington in
I think
2011.
he might also be asking if he won it with the Broncos.
In 2015, that would have been the Broncos Super Bowl year, yeah. Because he was in Atlanta part of the year, and then did he finish? Let's see. Was 2015 the year that the Broncos won that Super Bowl?
Was that long ago? It must
Sounds
be.
right. Yep. So yeah, he must have won the Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Cool. Good for him.
Yeah, way to get a ring at the end of his career.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Jacob. See, yeah, Clinton.
There we go. So I was right there. Not just a hat rack, my friends. Hey, Brandon, check your phone when you get a chance.
All right.
When you get a chance. So yeah, I'm a little behind, but that's okay. I hope everybody's having an awesome, this is a fun time of year. I don't know, I took 2 days off last week, so it was like a little precursor to Thanksgiving. Some of you know I went down to just south of Tampa, so it's called Siesta Key, Florida. It was fun. It was a good time besides the game, not working out our way, but it was lovely. But it was like a little ramp for Thanksgiving because I had like a 3-day work week because I took 2 days off. That was just jammed. And now we get to do that again. Just 3 more days and a couple days off. So lovely time of year. It's great.
All right. Well, we're in commercial here, waiting for Russ to make his first appearance on the field.
Nice. Brandon, you hosting or are you going somewhere for Thanksgiving?
I think we'll probably go to my brother-in-law's. That's usually the spot for us.
Nice. 3 games this year, right? This is the first time. Am I right? Is it the first time they're doing 3 games, or did they do it last year?
Oh no, they've been doing 3 games for years now.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a tradition, like none other.
It's been at least 3 or 4 years.
I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. That's all right.
Barry, aka Van T, Russ burnt some bridges for me, considering all the stuff he wouldn't do to play in a way that wouldn't hurt the team or grow his games. And we're seeing that here in Denver now. Got multiple coaches fired and played like crap in playoff games. Kale Lively coming in with a $1.99 super chat. I have immense schadenfreude for Wilson's struggle.
Now, the schadenfreude, is that I could be very wrong, but is that like the feeling of like when you get like the tingles, like if you're like listening to some music or something like that, or like seeing something that's really moving you?
No, that's not it.
Schadenfreude means something else in German altogether.
Schadenfreude is taking pleasure in other people's pain.
Okay, it's okay. So it does deal with pleasure. There is a scientific word for like when you're like listening to like a song or music, or you've seen something like epic, and it like
the little tingly feeling.
What's that?
That little tingly feeling.
Yeah. There's I think it's close to that same word, which it might have the same base because instead of pleasure in somebody else's pain,
what's
it's
the German
pleasure
word
from like the arts. But there's a legit word about it, or for it.
Goosebumps.
Exactly. It's goosebumps, but in a very French or Latin or German way.
Gotcha.
The podcast Stuff You Should Know did like a nice, it might have been Stuff to Blow Your Mind. Did like an hour-long episode on the science behind what's happening to your body when you experience that. It was really cool.
Got a flag down on a pass to Cortland Sutton. Looks like it's going to be on the Raiders here on 2nd and 7. Broncos ran on 1st down. Ooh, I don't know.
I will say this for the Broncos: these are really nice uniforms, and they should. These helmets helmets are so nice.
What, for the Broncos?
The helmets, yeah. I like the old blue with the more powdery blue better, but those are nice helmets, man. The stupid, whatever. I don't need the mean Bronco. This is a better helmet. That's a terrible pass. Oh, how was that a flag? You see that?
This is one I was telling you about.
Yeah, that's a terrible flag.
Gemütlichkeit is the word you're thinking of. Is it?
I didn't think it was German, but maybe there's a German word. There's probably a German word for it
either. So
yeah, it could be.
Let's see. I see Phil joined us here, but I don't see any video.
Yep.
You there, Phil? Or are you just joining audio only?
I'm here. I don't know what. Did I need to push a different button?
Try them
Maybe
all.
I should leave and try it again.
Okay.
Try all the buttons. How's Adam? Is he free? I mean, man, when you guys, it's funny. Like I listened to the flagship, maybe it was yesterday, and then like I finished it today.
Yeah.
But when Adam's starting the podcast, you could tell how cold he is. You could hear it. He's like, oh, he's cold. But then about like 20 minutes in, you'd be like, okay, his body's either accustomed or he's just warmer. But he was cold. Hey, Phil.
Hey, guys.
Andy
Hey,
might be coming to us from the future here.
I'm in the future?
Or at least.
Do you want me to tell you what's going on?
No, I saw that. Yeah. He got rid of it and he took a shot right in the pocket.
Yeah. First down run by the Broncos there. They get 2 yards. Edmonds.
We're gonna all have different experiences because what are you watching it on, Clinton?
I'm streaming it through DirecTV, and then I'm wildly behind. So I just saw the Sutton catch that went for about that first down.
What happens if I go to NFL Plus? Would that put me with you guys?
I'm on YouTube TV, and that's just what I have to watch. So
yeah, and then I was watching Red Zone, but that obviously you never.
Holy smokes!
Uh-oh.
It looked like it was tipped and then caught.
Oh, by a Bronco?
Oh, they're calling that a touchdown for Sutton? I thought he stepped out at like the 3.
Oh, boo Earns.
Let's see it again.
Boo from the future.
Let's see it again. Sutton's on my fantasy team, and he has been terrible.
Yeah, the super chat, Kale. I wanted us to stream games for a while. I'm happy to give first super chat ever. Wow.
Thank you, Kale.
Thanks, Kale.
Well, that's really cool of you.
Whoa. That was quite the reach out there.
That's it.
I think
all I got is Russian shotgun. So
I think Sutton got it, didn't he?
He said they did.
Okay. That's not good.
It's just right before the end.
Oh,
he reaches out. Oh, yeah.
He's in.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
on the replay.
Boo.
Well, the cool thing about watching this is not only can we cheer for our pick, we can sit here and get ready for our next week, and I won't have to do previous with the protector, right?
That's right. Yeah, we mentioned that before you jumped on, that this is kind of a scouting game.
Yeah.
Well, so far, throw the ball over the middle.
I don't know about you guys, but I've always enjoyed watching my team better when I watch the team we are about to play the week before. It's just always been kind of a fun way because then I can kind of get a measuring stick as I go into it. Do you guys typically like to do that as well?
I have more since frankly we're doing more podcasts. Oh, he is out. His heel hit, I thought. I don't know.
He reached out before the heel hit, but
I can't tell. They gave you an angle that was
I know it's tough to
see. But yeah, Phil, I certainly have done more of that since we've just done more podcasts. So I'm like, I need to be a little more prepared, just to speak a little bit more intelligently about the upcoming stuff.
And then I'm not a paid. They're not a paid sponsor, but that NFL Plus to where you can just get the condensed has made it even a whole better experience. You just sit there and you can crank out the notes, get an overall vibe of who you're going to play, and then you can kind of know what to cheer for. Which completely was for our last game against Tampa threw me off utterly because my entire take on them was that they couldn't run.
But they don't show a lot of those or if you watch some of those condensed versions, they actually take out the running plays, so they aren't even part of the action. Want to shout out Amy, one of our YouTube channel members. Go Raiders!
She's a member, I think, everywhere, right? And
member of the flock, a YouTube member. Yeah, we need to create more channels so Amy has more places to be members of.
Wonderful. That's awesome. And of course, for anybody that might be joining us for the first time ever, that's great. And thank you. And, just make sure you do subscribe and like it. I know it's you hear it every single time. So it becomes monotonous, and not just on our pod, every pod. And with that, it actually helps. It actually helps. Right. So it really does get it to more people. I track the metrics specifically on when how often we get recommended and stuff like that. And that's been climbing all year, which is awesome. But when you do it, it actually bumps it up and more and more people see it. So thank y'all in advance.
Hey, and they must the super chat and all the getting involved must have helped fix the SoundCloud, huh? Because 3 of us are on here and no issues. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. What we were having an issue with that in the past. Yeah.
See,
Hmm.
it was
Oh, there's the toe. The toe is out. It's going to be first and goal from
Good.
1.
Good.
Clinton
Good.
was right.
Don't give up a blade, man. You never know.
And he's in. Locked in for the touchdown.
Perfect.
So helpful.
Who scored this time?
So Latavius Murray gets the touchdown instead of hitting.
Instead of, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah, Ryan calling you out, Phil. Where's your hat? We got a pre-show wardrobe meeting, and
Clinton grew out his beard so that he could get closer to ours now, and then I forgot the hat. And Clinton's the not hat guy, and he's got the hat and the glasses.
Yeah,
you're game day visor guy, Clinton.
I got my visors. No. I'm not game day visor. That's incorrect. I've stated this for the record so many times, fellas. I enjoy a visor at the beach, on a boat, or when I'm golfing. That's when I enjoy a visor. But I do enjoy a visor. I am not. I am pro hobo hat. But I'm doing neither of those things. so and it's kind of cold. It's we got like a good 35 degrees right now up in Connecticut. So I'll rock this for a few bits.
I don't know if you're calling me out, Ryan, for my commentary. I mean, I'm not a play-by-play guy. This is a hangout. So
I think it was more just like I was like defend every blade. You're like, and he's in. Definitely funny.
Scott Campbell checking in. Hello, my brothers from Australia. At least Russell didn't get a TD pass then. Ha ha.
Yes, I'll take it. So Australia. I mean, I know where I know of it. Geez, my thought is it's Monday at like 10, maybe later.
What would that be?
Isn't it like opposite of our time here?
I don't know what time it is where you're at, Scott.
My guess is Monday
12:30, 12:30 maybe.
Yes. Catfish the Rams. They lost Jacob. So while Adam was freezing the other day, it's a chilly 68 degrees down in LA for Sam.
Nice, Sam. Love it. Yeah, when I was in Florida last week, it was like 78 at breakfast. It was great.
Nice return by the Raiders here.
Nice. I'm excited for it.
Oh, flag though.
Oh, boo. Boo earns, Brandon. Boo earns.
Yeah. Early Monday morning down in Australia, 8:30.
8:30. Okay, I was fairly close. I said 10.
Yeah.
Camden checking in. The end of that Jets-Pats game.
Yes, I agree, Camden. Hilarious, in fact. Like for them to bat, I can't stand the Jets. I can't stand the Jets. To see them battle the way they did and then lose it on a punt return. And again, the biggest sports talk up by me is something called WFAN radio, which is like, that's like, if you know, like Mad Dog Russo, any baseball fans out there. So like Russo's been, he's a big personality. That's where they all like Mike and the Mad Dog, Francesa, if you know that. So it's a big, 660 FAN. It's big. It's so fun when the Jets lose games like this. So my next week going into Thanksgiving is just going to be like Vinny from the Bronx and Sal from Long Island. And there's going to be complaining about
crying.
No, absolutely. Just whining and crying and, same old Jets. I told you nothing's different. It's going to be great. After hearing for an entire week why the team is so different, it's fantastic. They were so cocky coming into this game, and
I only saw the second half. Wilson looked horrible, and their offensive line did not look good.
No, they couldn't run the ball at all. Patriots defense is good. They have a good defense. Judon is nasty.
Dwayne Brown didn't look as awesome as he did when he was a Seahawk.
Yeah, he's old and hurt. Unfortunately,
just had an illegal contact penalty called on him. So,
good.
It'll be a first down for the Raiders.
Good. Let's go. Come on, Raiders. Don't let us down, right? Yeah. Win this week and lose next week.
I'm at 1st and 10. They just got the playoff. I was going to count down the play clock for you guys so you know where we're at.
Nice. Well, this is fun.
So Derek Carr, he called out his team kind of. He was almost crying that not everybody was giving their all. I wonder if they're going to lay over on him or if they're going to dig deep. Oh, there we go. Nice run.
Yeah, good 7-yard run on first down.
Good. Well,
it was after the game, I think, that Carr was, really upset. And yeah, we'll see if it has any fact. I mean, they already beat the Broncos once, right?
Yes, that's right.
Season. So, big hole for
James.
Big hole for Jacobs.
Nice.
This is a big game because not only we want to keep the Broncos down on their wins, this is a team that's below them. So to get the Raiders to pass them, very helpful for our pick standings.
Yep. Yeah, Phil, before you hopped on, I was saying too, like the Saints winning, like similar effects. It's like, yes, we want the Rams to lose always and forevermore. They don't have a pick anyway. Who has their pick? I forget.
Who has whose pick?
The Rams
pick.
Oh, the Dolphins have the 49ers pick.
Yeah, I just know they don't have one for the next 7 years or so.
Yeah, all the teams, like what you were about to say, Clinton, the teams that only have 2 or 3 wins, we want them to win.
So with the Saints winning,
raise the threshold for the Broncos.
Yeah, it's all good. Who won the? I didn't see.
The Lions have the Rams draft pick.
Okay. Good.
So growing up, Brandon, when you were AFC West fan, Seahawks, who did you hate the most? Broncos, Raiders, or Chiefs? Because I know it wasn't the Chargers. They were the one that none of us cared about.
No, I think it's weird because all Seahawks fans now are kind of like, we can root for the Chargers because, they were just the kind of a bottom feeder team, especially in the 90s, although so were the Seahawks. But it was kind of the 80s and the 90s, I feel like, for the Chargers. No, I think the team that I think it's always been the Broncos that I've hated the most, followed by the Raiders.
Because of the Elway smile.
Well, he's on a horse team with a big horse mouth, right? So I hated the Broncos the most. It was again, for me, they were the ones who played on TV and they usually beat us, right? So no fun.
And my dad always says we're Raider haters. He said, I've always been a Raider hater, but he grew up a Chiefs fan. Then he moved because he was in Kansas. Then we moved to Washington, became a Seahawks fan. So he never quite hated the Chiefs, but he'd always hated the Raiders as a Chiefs fan. I grew up hating the Chiefs because we never could win there in Arrowhead. I couldn't stand the Broncos. We always felt like they got lucky. And then, the Chargers was like, whatever, they don't matter.
Oh, hey. Also, Brandon, we have another mystery guest who just sent you a tweet.
Wilson.
Oh, all right.
No,
maybe Phil.
Maybe I ruined it. Maybe I ruined all the fun. I don't know. I didn't see it. That was my guess right off the top. I'm going Wilson. I don't know.
It might be.
Ooh.
Maybe it's
Maybelline.
I
don't see where might have to try and come in again.
Last time I was on with this many people was the draft. That was super fun. That's like one of those memories that I really enjoyed. We all got on here for the draft, and then look what a draft it turned out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the feeling is that good things happen when we bring a lot of people live, is what we're saying here, Phil. I mean, it happened once, so it has to happen every single time.
Got to keep happening.
Right. Big third down here for the Raiders. 3rd and 2 at about 11 seconds, 10, 9 on the play clock.
You're not going to like this one.
Oh, did he get it?
You're not going to like this one.
I don't know. I think he got the first down.
If you think you hate it now, wait till you drive it, right?
How far ahead are you, Phil?
Well, I was ahead, and then Red Zone flipped me. So now I got to go back to where I was before to watch it. And then I'm behind. I'm ahead when Red Zone's there. And then when I go to the...
Carly asks, is the stream going until the end of the Broncos game?
No, Carly, to the end of time.
We'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. We started this without really having a plan, obviously. So
I tried to have a plan. No one wanted to have a plan, so we're not doing plans. We're gonna just have fun. Is Adam coming on?
Plans, Phil. This is
you what?
I can't do plans.
Yeah, it's a week off.
You're trying to get me to plan out to go to the Carolina game in a couple.
Well, that
weeks.
happens.
It's like 2 weeks out.
There you
So,
go.
so yeah, breaking news, right? Little do. I booked my flights today,
Wow.
this morning. So for the folks anybody who wants to come party and hang, right? I am going to the Panthers game. I have to procure tickets, but I am flying out. I will be landing in SeaTac 10:45 a.m. on Sunday. I'll have to figure out how to get to the stadium. I'm sure there's mass transit. I'll be at the Panthers game. Brandon, I know you're in, and I'm pretty sure Adam is going to go. But if anybody else can make it, hey, I have not been there since 2019, so I would love to hang out with whomever. It's good. It's a good year.
Jeff letting you know, Phil, that Game Day Live showing the game currently.
There we go. Let me try that. So then the old Apple TV decided to give me everybody's favorite.
Oh, the spin wheel of death. Yes, love that.
So we'll get this thing restarted, and then maybe we'll go Game
First
Day
down
Live.
for the Raiders here.
Nice.
That's the end of the first quarter.
All right, we're marching.
I cut you off, Phil, for the end of the first quarter. Sorry about that.
No, that was way more important than whatever I was having to say.
Agree. Oh, nice. Oh, thank you. If Jason Turner's out there, thank you. He sent me a different stream that I could possibly dive into. That might be a little bit more up to date.
Yeah, also following along on Discord and the Game Day Garden channel. Doesn't look like there's too many people chatting in there. I think most people chatting here through YouTube or through Facebook.
It's the place to be, Brandon. It's the place to be.
Look, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, I can at least put the comments up on the screen, like Lauren saying, "So many Bronco fans up here in Calgary." Ugh.
Hey, Brandon, I'm sure you can. Can you put the thumbnail that was created for this particular gathering? Can we show everybody? Because I was really proud of that one. That was very.
It was spiffy.
No. Is that a flat no? A little screw you, Melon.
Let's see if I can add it live.
I've no
here
doubt.
we go.
You try to put me to work as we're actually live.
Well, that's okay. Hey, never been a better time than right now, right? It's a little chili peppers for those.
Because you were so proud of it for creating it.
I'm so proud. There it is. There it is. Look at all this. I mean, I'm very proud of this. I mean, first of all,
he's got the two clipboards, so we know.
Yep. He's got the good playbook and the bad playbook.
So we know what happened with the playbooks. He's probably gonna slam them on the table and then slam the door and leave.
One of those are all scribble plays, right? Which is fantastic. So that's the best. Did you guys see the whole thing with that what's his face Hackett? I think you tweeted about it, Brandon, that he handed over the thing to that he handed over the playbook to Kubiak. Like it must be Kubiak's
right.
or something.
Kubiak
right?
is calling the plays right now. Yeah.
Interesting. It's like, all right. It's like, does it matter what coach, calls the plays versus the quarterback that's going to potentially ignore the plays, right? And call his own game anyway. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. So if you are a new fan of the Seahawks and newish, being that if you started following after they switched to the NFC West, then I don't think you would have quite any of that sports hate still lingering. I mean, it'd be like, why? Well, probably I didn't really have any Niners hate necessarily until we were in the same division. So
I got an embarrassing story about that, Brandon. I don't know if I'm ready to share, but
nobody's watching.
I don't know. Like I grew up it
won't be permanent on YouTube.
I grew up near Portland, and sometimes the Seahawks weren't always good. I was always a Seahawks fan, but we had Portland channels and Seattle channels on our TV, and Portland would often play Niners. So you know what that means as a little boy growing up, I would watch Niners all the time, and they were pretty good. And so I even had some Niners gear growing up, and Jerry Rice was pretty good. Joe Montana, there's some players that
they were exciting.
I enjoyed that style of football. I would cheer for the Seahawks, but they never were going to compete against the Niners pretty much unless they were at the Super Bowl or a rare moment. And then when we moved over to the other division, I had to burn any Niners stuff I had because, the Seahawks were my guys. But it's kind of embarrassing to look back at some kid pictures and see the,
You wearing your Niners gear? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. My kids, I don't let them see that, or they.
I never had any gear, but I do distinctly remember. I think it was my first Super Bowl that I really remember watching was when the Niners played the Bengals.
Okay,
and
mine was against the Dolphins in '84.
Okay,
so you were the Bengals. That was what, in '88?
yeah.
Super Bowl 19 was Marino versus Montana. They had all these commercials.
Man,
and I already didn't like Marino because he knocked out the Seahawks.
I definitely watched the '85 Super Bowl.
Sacks in a row for Derek Carr. I mean, we are following the game, so I should call the fact out that the Carr's been sacked twice now, and
yeah, not good.
They're going.
I did not really watch the '84 Super Bowl, but I did watch '85 because of the Super Bowl shuffle. You know, that got huge. Yeah. And then '86, my dad is still a Giants fan, so I definitely watched '86, which was a lot of fun.
Phil Simms. Yeah.
Jacobs trying to run it on 3rd and forever, and
the old give up play.
Nothing.
This donkey defense is pretty good. I'm glad we're done with.
Well, they've been good all year. I think they're first in points allowed so far this season.
Yeah, that's crazy that if they scored 18, they would have went 8-1 or something like that leading into this. Like, nobody gets more than 17 points on them.
No.
They're a quarterback away, I guess.
Except for one team.
That's all. Just a quarterback away.
I mean, that's the funny thing is that they thought they were a quarterback away, but
they've got everything. They've got Javonte and Sutton, Hamlin, Hamler.
That was on 3rd down.
Stamler. They got it all.
Yeah.
Chandler Bing. He's a Bronco.
Throw over the middle down to the 28. So Raiders are going to be in field goal position. I was thinking it was.
I thought you were right. I thought that Jacobs' run was 3rd down. Yeah,
but it was 3rd.
Yeah. Well, see, my confusion is you run the give up play on 3rd down.
Right.
And so I was thinking that was the give up play, but I guess in Las Vegas, they run their give up plays on 2nd down and then throw over the middle on 3rd down.
Right.
Oh, it's no good.
Oh, that's craptastic.
Terrible team to cheer for. Ugh. 46-yarder.
Come on,
the Bard checking in from England.
Oh,
so it shows up for me as Facebook user, but that's the Bard. That's awesome.
That's the Bard.
I know his voice, but only through your voice. so I know the take on his voice.
Oh yeah, John's a cool dude.
Awesome.
John and Barry when they came out for the Washington game a couple of years ago, that was fun. And then, of course, when we went to England. Oh my gosh, we have spam bots in the chat.
What? Oh, Nightbot.
Oh, 69 mega. That's me, guys. My bad.
I'm tired of being alone. That's Clinton. Clinton's the one Seahawker that was alone this year a couple times. So
yeah. So by the way, when Twitter was dying. People are so stupid. I'll say it like it is. A bunch of lemmings who are like, Twitter's dying. Like, yeah, right, it's dying. But anyway, when Twitter was dying, and everybody's putting up there like, oh, find me on Instagram and find me here and find me on Mastodon, right? All this crap. Conan O'Brien sent a tweet that was like, just in case, it was like, Cone Bone 69 on Yahoo groups.
I saw there was something like that. I was like, "Whoa, that can't be his real one."
That was the best one. That was it. I'm like, that's why this guy wrote for The Simpsons for 10 friggin' years like that. It was perfect.
I'm glad though that we have all these other ways of doing things though, just in case something happens. It's going
nowhere. It's going nowhere. People are stupid.
Just saying, have a backup plan. It's not a bad idea.
Sure. Fine. Great. All good. All good.
That's why I have Nightbot. And I know it's given some other people some timeout issues in times, but just so we can take care of 69 mega.
I'm not sure what Nightbot is, but it sounds like a defender of
It's just a bot defender that you can put into your YouTube chat room. So.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Is there like
sometimes if you post Go Hawks with all in caps with 15 exclamation points, it might it might give you like a 5-second timeout or something like that.
Okay.
I thought it was going to give you prizes for Go Hawks. But if you say let's ride, then something bad will happen to your phone, right?
This is the best. Nightbot greater than Russ. Funny.
Can't be trying it out.
Well, that's like 5 exclamation points, Andy.
So
Yeah. You gotta try harder.
It's hard to rate Carr versus Russ in this matchup because the defenses are so different. You know, here comes Russ out is he at the 40?
Yeah, just completed a pass over the middle there.
And they just got a
Short
run
pass
almost to the 50.
over the middle to Melvin Gordon.
Yep. He
Well,
still
see,
plays.
that's one criticism of Russ that we, he's actually thrown to their running backs a little bit.
There you go, Lauren.
A play under center from Russ there. So,
Yeah, that's
man,
what it
he's
was.
answering all the critics today.
Wow.
I think
While
he's just
wearing a
listening to
wristband?
Adam and then proving Adam wrong, or he's trying to. He wants to get out of the curse. He wants to get out from under the curse, so he's listening to Adam's little spots.
But I mean, but is Adams not, in the sense like there were so many times last 2 years where we the 3rd and 2 run from shotgun where you would never run it and they just crash down on Carson. It's like, this is stupid. Like,
it's like, why run read option if you're not going to take
if there's
take the option.
if there's never a chance you're actually going to keep the ball.
Yeah.
And why be in shotgun if you could just, be under center for
Broncos
just more
have some good
effective.
tempo going right now. First down there to the tight, now throwing to a tight end. Holy smokes, what's going on with the Broncos here?
Yep. No, well, the Raiders are not good. So
Now, 3 plays in a row, we've seen a pass to a running back over the middle. Russ is under center again, 2nd and 1.
The Raiders aren't good at anything on defense.
First down and more. Holy smokes.
yeah, this is the Kubiak offense.
Yeah. That's like Jeff saying in the chat. Hackett no longer calling plays.
And it's got to be Kubiak's just son, I'm imagining, not like a nephew or something. I have no idea, but I'm just guessing it's a son.
I think it is because he was the elder Kubiak, Gary Kubiak, was in Minnesota.
Well, those Kubiak teams that were the Texans when it was the Arian Foster days, they were good. Those are some good teams, man. So
he's had a couple good offenses here and there.
Oh, totally. Agree.
Yeah,
Out right. Ooh, there's a deep throw. Oh, I think that's out of bounds. That was a nice throw, though.
Well,
Russ is looking good when as far as his throws. That's the one thing he can still do, right?
He's not
He's a good
terrible,
thrower.
right? I mean, it's I know he's had a bad year, but it's
been a lot of chemistry and sync issues, hasn't it?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, we shall see.
Maybe we're finding out that it's a play calling issue.
Maybe it's a Hackett thing.
I don't know about that.
But again, the Raiders are not a very good football team.
He's not thrown it to open guys a lot.
Oh, that was a nice pass. Holy cow. I just saw that.
Yeah.
That sideline pass. Oof. That looked like vintage Russ.
The ball on the 30. Is that where you are, Brandon?
Let's see here. Andy pointing out too. Yeah, a ton of drop passes. 3rd and 8. So
Dropped.
big third down here. 23 seconds on the play clock.
Oh, he should have caught that. That was a nice ball.
It's a little in front of him, but he should have caught it.
I think I'm even like, I'm not even sure which one you're on, Phil, if it's the next one or not.
Oh, they got the ball off of 10 seconds. Oh, Russ let him out just a little too much on that 3rd and 8 throw.
That's good. Field goal.
So 4th and 8.
Good.
Yeah. Time to block a field goal and return it.
They are in kind of this could be go for it range.
On 10 yards or 8 yards, 4th and 8.
4th and 8.
Nah, they need to kick it. I mean, I'm fine if they go for it.
How long of a field goal is it from here?
Is it 48? 48, I think.
Yeah, you'd probably go ahead and kick the field goal.
Be nice to block it.
Yep, they did.
It'd be really nice to block it.
Field goal's good from 48, right down the middle.
Be totally cool if they block it.
And they're not going to block it. I'm pretty sure they won't.
Every blade of grass, Brandon.
Ugh, this game is not going right.
That's okay. Listen, it's 10-0. It's early. Plenty of time.
Look, I didn't watch this essentially. I mean, of course, we want the Broncos to lose, but this is the Raiders. I have no expectation that the Raiders are going to come out and be all that competitive either.
Yeah. Well, normally they start with a lead and then give it up and throw it back. So maybe Carr's got them doing a reverse Raider this week.
And look, I'm okay with the Raiders playing terrible. We got to play them next week. Like, have them continue to be terrible.
Well, I want them to lose. I mean, I want the Donkeys to lose. I want the Raiders to win, Brandon.
I'm throwing it out there that the potential that it would be okay.
Take your positivity. This is as much worked up as we can get today, right? It's just this first round and second round draft picks.
Yeah. Samuel saying, I think Broncos blowing a huge lead and having a defensive collapse is good for the curse.
It sure is.
It's good for the curse. It's good for our draft position. Yeah. I'm just saying, Sam, I can spin this either way. If the Broncos win, hey, it's great because they just drub the Raiders and maybe the Raiders stink. They need to pack it in. And if the Broncos lose, hey, yeah, better for our draft deal and the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Now I might trade a Broncos loss for a Niners loss tomorrow night. So
can we
slide the curse over to them this weekend? Then I'll take it.
At 10-0 Broncos, I'd sign for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Third pick in the draft from the Broncos. Yes, please sign me up for that.
Yeah, that would be.
I mean, if we're dreaming about this, why not the first pick?
Yeah. Well, then you got to talk about the Texans. So
yeah, Texans are.
You think they might have it locked up?
Kind of locked. Oh, I was asking earlier. Actually, I didn't ask earlier. I meant to ask. I guess I could just go look. Oh, so Atlanta beat the Bears, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I feel like this game could be a 4 or 5 spot slide. This game is a big one for our pick because of who it is, and because if they do beat them, I mean that's one of the wins they could get. A lot of the other games they're not going to get a win. And there's going to be so many 3, 4, 5 win teams this year. This one could potentially really impact our deal.
Well, we've got more than 40 people hanging out with us here, either through YouTube, Facebook. So if you are on YouTube, drop a like. If you haven't subscribed already, that way you can get our shows whenever they come out. Hey, maybe we'll do more of these live hangouts during games. I know people have been talking about us doing it during a Seahawks game. We'll have to see about that too. But, definitely on games like this, it might be fun just to hang out while the game's going on.
And we could talk.
I won't be able to because I'll be literally two plays behind, so I can't do that to myself.
All over the place, yeah.
Oh, not for a Seahawks game would be kind of tough, yeah.
Oh yeah, anything else, whatever. I don't care. Knowing's fine.
If it's on Amazon, the Thursday night game, that's the only one because then we'd all be together, right?
I feel like we would all be synced up for a Thursday game.
For the Amazon game.
Who does a good Thursday night game is the bootleg football guys. They do that's fun.
Oh,
they do that.
Yeah, they do. They actually get, which is good. Not to say we can't do it, but but EJ and Brett, it's good because they know their stuff, and they're also they actually got it sponsored by the whole thing's sponsored by Prize Picks, which is cool. So they put their picks in specifically just for that game too. So it's kind of a little that flair, which is fun.
But if it's a Seahawks game, I'm not watching it.
And if we're going to be competing with them, then don't tell other people about it.
That's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
If it's a Seahawks game, they're going to watch.
We talk about good podcasters because they're good podcasters, right? So I know you know.
Beta checking in. How you doing, Beta?
Well, that's a great name. The way it's spelled too. That's cool. Yeah. The whole name.
If the pick is 10th overall or later. Sam saying John's trading back. I don't know. They're depending on how it goes with the draft. We'll just have to see. Carr dropping back. Ooh, not sure where he's going with that throw on 1st and 20.
If we can get one of those top 2 defenders, right, then we want to go for it. The interior or the outside pass rusher.
Yeah, we can use that. Agree.
Disruptor. Okay.
But it's not there we go. There we go. I mean, shoot, if you can trade back and maybe
something good.
Throw we needed.
Nice.
I mean, the possibility that you have too of you might even trade for future first.
Yeah, that's possible. I thought of that. At least like trade.
Ooh, wide open.
Yeah.
Oh, he fell down.
I don't have Devontae. That was Devontae too.
I'm so far behind.
But I think you're right, Brandon. If we trade our native pick for like next year first and and then just take a second or something this year, that might not be a bad choice. Like if we trade our, sometimes you can do stuff like that if somebody really wants in for the quarterback that's left.
Right. Well, at least they get the first down on 2nd and 20.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I'll take it.
It's just that he fell down after getting the 20 yards, and he could have easily picked up another 10 probably before the safety got over there.
Oh, he was wide open. Oh, I just saw it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No. Is he hurt? No, he's just got his feelings hurt. I got it. Okay.
There we go.
Brian firmly against any trade back, take the best possible player. There's something to that too. I
think with our top pick, we need to get him. We need to get a disruptor on defense, a game changer, Carter or somebody like that.
I'm gonna take the bold stance of letting John Schneider do his thing. I know that's
so boring, Clinton.
I know that's wild, guys.
Powering through the middle
for 7
yards, getting the first down, crossing the
crossing the Bronco.
You're right, Clinton, but that's like watching the game and say, I think Shane should call what Shane thinks is the best play.
Yeah,
really exciting.
I just I'm not a big college football person in general, so I just don't even know enough except for like the top dudes. Sure. So I just don't have a good grip on who's who until like March.
Yeah, after the NFL season's over, you have a chance to.
That's where I'm at too.
Watch some of the scouting videos that come out during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
But if we talk about types of things we won, wouldn't it be better to have a big superstar on our team?
Good move by Hollins.
Yeah.
Got 8 yards on that 1st and 10.
But yeah, Phil, 100%. Like, yes.
Let's not trade down and get 5/3. And
if there's another Micah Parsons out there, then holy Hannah, go get him, right? So
Sojin looking for a center in the first round or second round. Why not the first round?
Out on Austin
Blythe where we're at.
I think re-sign Blythe, but yeah, if there's a good center, there's not a center that's going to be gone in the first round, from what I'm hearing, from what people are saying.
Yeah, I'd rather spend those picks on defense anyway. I can live with Blythe being the center. Ooh, still going, Jacobs.
Like no matter what we do, just seriously re-sign Geno. Like, have to. Can't go into a year without a quarterback. Not when you have one. It's like it was fine going into this year without one because that was the plan, but then we had one, and so not re-signing him would be just tragic.
Adam's coming. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not signing Geno. Do you guys think we can get him for 3 years for 100? Do you think?
Yeah, that's right. That's right where I think we can get him. Plus a nice $40 to $45 million.
Oh, beauty! Oh, yeah, that was a nice one. You guys
nice.
Watch this.
Glad that Adam's coming in because I'm going to be checking out in a few. I've got a dinner at a good friend's house.
All right, 1st and 10. Oh, just gets the snap off in time with it clone down to 0. Nice. All the time in the world. Touchdown, Devontae Adams.
Yes. They can't guard him. They can't defend.
There you go. That's my favorite. But I play now in 3 fantasy leagues. I got eliminated from my guillotine league this week, which is a lot of fun. But now, so I'm down to 3. But
that's your guy.
Well, Devontae's in my favorite league. Yeah.
So Cup has been my guy. The Eastern Washington guy over here, and I'm always bummed that he's on the Lambs because he's a really cool guy in person too. But he was like helping me crush it in any league I was playing. And then now he's out and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Cup was nice. Look at Sam Gelber, $7 for the Raiders doing their thing. That's amazing. I'm assuming it's for that and not just for the number 7.
Hey, it might be Sam. You may have spoken too soon. It could be 8. The Broncos get an unsportsmanlike penalty there, and
I'd still take the 1.
Oh, you wouldn't go for 2? You can do it from the 1 yard line? From the 1?
Nope. I like points.
Yeah, 2 points.
Yeah. If they give you half the distance to the goal.
Which would you rather have? 2 points or 1 point?
I'd rather have a guarantee 1.
Yeah, it's no guarantee though. We see
it's pretty close.
Miss this all the time.
All the time.
I'm almost like never kick the ball.
Oh, we've got
all the kicking
streaker out on the field and you don't get to see it.
Boo Earns.
I think you could design a team where you don't need to kick the extra point most of the time.
You probably could.
With our 13 personnel, we got all those different guys that can catch or block based on whatever they show us. I just feel like more than half the time we should be able to get 2.
Yeah, that Colin Cowherd.
Oh, brother.
It was just ridiculous.
Saying that the Aaron Rodgers had come to Seattle.
I think it'd be a perfect fit. Blah, blah, blah. Just shut up.
Don't you think it's because he saw him in a Seahawks jersey that that's where it happened to him? Because he said he thought of it in the middle of the night.
Yes, I think that's a great call, Phil. Like, what is that call when it kind of gets in your brain because you saw it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's do you guys know the Netflix show? It's called Magic for Humans.
Sounds like something my boys would like.
It's awesome. There's a little bit of like, just watch. It's a little like PG-13ish.
Oh,
there's no nudity. He's not cursing, but I frame it as like a little bit lewd or a little mature.
Oh, they love how your brain works type stuff.
Yeah, but he mashes everything up with like, really, really good magic. But I think it was like season 2, episode 1. He brings in these social media influencers into like this almost like museum type thing. And he predicts the Instagram picture that they each will take. It's insane. It's so good. And then he shows you like how he manipulated them to get them to take. I mean, like 3 separate humans take the same exact photo. It's so good.
Yep.
It's really, really good. So it's all that stuff.
So you're right. That's what Cowherd saw. Here's what Cowherd apparently has not seen. Geno play for the Seahawks.
Yeah, right.
Or he would not have thought of this idiocy. He probably hasn't watched Geno play much because I don't know how else you would think we don't have a quarterback.
I mean, that's the funny thing too, Jacob, is that Colin seemed so proud of it. Like, what a great idea if have Aaron Rodgers finish out his career in Seattle. And it's a terrible idea. Even if you think that Geno could maybe get more somewhere else, or see, the thing is that the Seahawks have all the control on that, though, because they could franchise tag him.
Yep.
For 31, yeah.
And the thing is, that would, if you're the Seahawks, that's not a bad position to be in, is if you had to franchise Geno, because then it's just 1 year and you could, because, that would rule out maybe the Geno thing is just a 1 year thing, right? And, let's go 1 more year just to see if it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best thing for Geno, which is why I think he would probably prefer a longer term contract anyway, rather than taking the franchise tag. But that's part of the leverage that the Seahawks have in any contract negotiation, saying that, you want 5 years, $150 million to be paid like one of the top guys. No, we'll just franchise tag you.
Right. Because we could get him for 31.5 franchise, and then it'd be, what is that, 44 the next year if we did it twice. So you get 31, or we'll give you 3 years of 100, right? Wouldn't we? What were you going to say, Quentin?
Oh, no. I'm spot on with you. It's like, if we had a franchising tag him, I think it's a great idea. It's great that we have that. And even the second year, 40 something's like fine. It's still well below a top, some of it's below Kyler Murray, just to put it into that context. And with that, I just think in general, I think he will take, because it's smart of him to take it, a multi-year deal where he gets, let's say, 40 million guaranteed, because that's guaranteed money. He gets it now. And he's in the state of Washington that doesn't have a sales tax or income tax.
Yeah. So that's,
which I know that
games. Yeah.
I know there's different taxation across different, when you play.
But that's half your games. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the state, though. It's half your games depending on the state. You go play some games in Florida, you're not going to have it again because there's no right.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right. So, but you go play California, which we do, he's going to get hammered. But that matters to these guys, man. He's played 10 years, only made, but still 10 years, 13 something million, 40 million in front of his face in a situation he loves. And then 3 or 4 years to go figure it out, playing for Carroll. I just don't think he walks away from it. I think he's found a late, honeypot, which is.
So you're predicting right here, Clinton, the Seahawks are going to sign Geno for a multi?
Yeah. It makes the most sense. So yes.
Yeah, for both sides.
Yeah. It makes the most sense.
You're leaning 1 year, Brandon, you think? Or you think we're going to get him for a multi?
I'd say multi. Answering a couple questions here in the chat too. Matthew asking, can you put the game on in the background? Unfortunately, YouTube will take us down pretty quickly. Even if you have a like the game showing, like over your shoulder. I don't know. They got technology to take that stuff down.
Yeah, going back to the bootleg dudes, they do something really. They have like this thin strip that sits below them that they show, but like it's so weird. It's like it's literally like a thin strip where you can only see like their like socks anyway. So it's like, what's the point? You know? So so they must have done the research to figure out what you're allowed to show. But it's no good anyway. You know,
but if you're going to do a
kind
stream,
of actually more annoying.
Yeah, if you were going to do a stream, that's the one to do, because if we watched Amazon Prime, we'd all be exactly to the second on the same moment.
Right,
all of our
exactly.
viewers, all of us in different states, we'd
Yep.
all be. That'd be the one to do.
And yeah, and Andy, the answer is yes. The NFL and there's athlete taxes that are very specific via the state. So when the Seahawks play a game in San Francisco, that game check is taxed by the state of California. So
yeah,
go. That's just the way it works. I think it's the same in it's just an athlete tax that they apply, which is.
Well,
Okay.
income tax for higher income bracket is a lot worse. And Washington
Yeah, it's
has
just
no
what
state income
what it
tax.
is. It's a I know they get
Nevada
taxed
doesn't
in
either.
states
Yeah.
that tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
And
like somebody flinched for the Broncos there. False start by the Broncos on second
Nice.
down.
Somehow they don't have to when they go to like Mexico City or London. I don't know if the NFL is supplementing or the city is just exempting
Well, that
them,
was the weird
it
thing because
brings benefit to their city, I think.
with Aaron Donker, someone was saying that it was one of the field goals guys was saying that that he would have needed a work visa through the NFL to play in Germany, but Germany being his home country, it seemed so weird that was part of the calculus of not being able to allow Aaron Donker to play in that Germany game.
Oh boy,
This thing's
Okay, Russ scrambling around. Oh, he gets hit.
yeah.
Get rid of it in time. Ooh, who's that?
nice.
Oh, Melvin Gordon picks up 11 yards.
Oh,
Yeah, that
boo.
was impressive.
I thought he got hit for a sack there, Brandon. The way you were.
No, he got hit and just
Yeah.
released the ball, and I thought it would fall incomplete, but
He wisely put it where there was nobody around. It was like wide
yeah,
open.
he just shot putted it up as he was going down, and
Yeah.
Gordon able to.
Next, and then more tight end use.
Boo Earns.
Yeah, that's still 3rd and 4. Big third down here for the Raiders. Hopefully get the offense off the field. 11 seconds on the play clock.
Maybe Russ called Shane and got some plays.
Oh wow!
Oh, first
wow.
down.
Just saw that
Oh,
play.
spin move. Spins back in, gets some extra yardage. Dulcich. Oh, flag though.
Good.
Someone says
Good.
my audio is too light. I could bring it
It could be
closer.
a little loud. It could be a smidge louder. It's okay.
Is it better with the closer guys?
Yeah, a little bit.
Looks like it might be a blindside block on Sutton.
Good. Good.
I'm just glad all the audios are actually working well.
Yeah, I'm not. Who are the Cowboys playing, Jacob?
Vikings.
Vikings?
Yeah, big game.
I don't know who to cheer for, except I can never cheer for the Cowboys, really. So.
They called
I'd
that
love
out,
to be able
son.
to get a number 2 seed, but it's almost impossible after we lost to the Bucks. But
I don't like.
the number 2 seed is so great because then you get 2 home games for sure if you win.
Look, I like that it was called.
That's a terrible
that
call.
it backed up the Broncos 3rd and 7, but I don't know if a block like that is really that bad.
No, I saw it live just like 10 seconds ago, and hearing what you said earlier, I was like, "That's what they called." Like,
It's not Golden Tate blowing up
no, it's a
the
block.
like Sean Lee or anything like that.
No, it's a block.
Whoa.
It was illegal. It was a penalty.
There's a
I just don't
Pittsburgh
like it.
touchdown.
Yeah, I
against
mean,
the Bengals. It was awesome.
by the books, you can't do it. So,
All right,
It's-
3rd and
it's
12. Broncos
Let's
still
hear
in the huddle with 17 seconds on the play clock.
typical.
They're going to have a hard time getting this playoff, I think. 11. Oh, I think they're getting lined up. As long as Russ doesn't. Yep, they get the snap off with 6.
Why
Oh,
were
Russ
we
gonna
doing
run it.
all this?
Here he
Oh,
goes. He's got a blocker. Oh, he
Uh-oh.
goes down 3 yards short.
Field goal. Most
Oh,
likely.
now the Raiders are going to get a flag for hitting him late, maybe?
Ugh.
'cause he
Makeup
asked
call?
for it.
I think he might have gotten hit in the helmet after he got chased down.
Was it forcible though? Was it forcible?
Oh, I don't know about that.
You're going to take that hit whether you like it or not. Is that what forcible means? You don't have a choice on the matter. I'm going to force you to take this hit.
He was just running after him, and because Russ fell down on the ground, Crosby tripped over him.
Oh, it was Russ running. Gotcha. I'm seeing.
Yeah,
it now.
Russ was running out to the left, and then
come on.
he slid down face first. Or
First of all, he didn't, like you just said, he slid head first, right?
They never used to give him that when he was a Seahawk. That's all I'm saying.
That's a.
Again, it's another one of those calls that is technically a flag, but yeah.
I mean,
it offset with the other one I didn't like earlier.
Crosby started to like dive at Russ while Russ started to dive. You know, it's like that's got to be considered. So stupid. Yeah, the NFL is weak sometimes.
Nice
Crosby
plays.
does that to Gino. He's on the firing squad. Yeah, it's technically the right call. It's just
I don't think so.
Are you at the 2-minute warning?
Book.
Are you at the 2-minute warning, Brandon?
Nope. This is the last pass right before the 2-minute warning. First down, Broncos.
That foul against Russ was not a foul. The guy was already running full speed, and he went head first. I can't agree with that one.
That was
That's true. I think there are.
My take too.
If he slides, it's one thing, but because he went head for, it was kind of an in-between weird slide though too.
Which shame on Russ. He played baseball for a lot of years.
Yeah,
you know?
That looked more like a Gino slide than a Russ.
Yeah,
slide.
he did that last week. I was concerned about his knees.
Gino wasn't. Yeah, his dealing with the turf and when to go down and all wasn't top notch. But I think everybody's timing was a little off on that field last week.
Yeah,
I'm ready to.
It all looks slower.
The vibe just wasn't right. I am worried that we're not getting our plays off as quickly. All of a sudden, we've kind of come back to where we're not getting in there, getting out of the huddle with 15, 20 seconds as much. Did you notice that a little bit last week for the Hawks?
No, unless it's going down to the except for the.
We had a couple that went down to the wire. We couldn't really get things
all in one sequence though.
Yeah,
where they got the delay game and. Adam coming in via the car.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yo.
He wants it warm, huh? Is that why?
There we go.
Yeah, right. There he is.
What up, fellas?
Yeah. Did you go out to the car so you could be warm, Adam?
No, I'm actually in Hood River, Oregon. I can't get into my Airbnb until 4. So.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Hour and 45 minutes sitting in the vehicle.
Yeah. Well, I get to spend it with you guys now, so.
That's true.
Beta wants to hear some karaoke since you got the karaoke microphone.
You're not that lucky, bud.
It sounds good though. You got the game on somehow, Adam?
Yeah, I've got it on a tablet on my dash here. So looks to be a commercial. I don't know if it's about the same as what you guys got going, but
yeah. Yep, it's in commercial. It's on the 2-minute warning right now.
Okay. What's the score?
Broncos are up 10-7.
Russ looks pretty good in this game. Would you guys say, or is it just that the Raiders have hideous defense?
No, I'd say Russ has played well so far.
Yeah, I think the play calling's been good. I think he's been. It's so one of the weird things we've seen here, Adam, is that they've answered some of the same kind of issues that we've seen. Like we've seen Russ under center quite a bit in this game.
Oh,
yeah, and. He's been relatively decisive with, running plays on schedule. So I think that's what helped. We saw, I think the only deep pass that we saw, it was just a little bit, it was to the end zone, but just a little bit out of bounds to where the receiver couldn't come down with it in bounds. But
gotcha. Okay. Well, he's also overcoming those hideous uniforms. Good Lord, those are ugly.
It's pretty nasty.
I like the helmets, though. The helmets.
Barry had a good thought in the chat that they need to consider on these late hits the trajectory of the defender chasing. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
they don't though.
Like if someone's in the air, it's not the Matrix, right? You can't be like,
right.
I don't know if you can really give the officials any more decision space. Like they have a hard enough time even
Can't
on
they just walk
replay
up to their
deciding what a football move looks like.
walk up to their mic and say, "This is not the Matrix, so we're picking the flag up."
Yeah. There's far too much subjectivity already, and it makes it hard. But I agree, I didn't think it was a foul.
All right, minute 15 left. The Broncos just ran for no gain. It's 3rd and 8.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm synced up with you, Adam, but got about 15, 14, 13 seconds on the play clock. Oh, no, it's
No,
timeout.
I'm still at commercial.
Oh,
Are you
you're-
watching on YouTube TV?
Yeah, I am. It's in
Really?
commercial now, though. You might be a little bit ahead.
It's funny. We're in four
I
different
don't think so.
No.
4 different streams.
Well, yeah.
Is what
This
it
fair
doesn't
as it
seem
gets.
to. I'm watching it on NFL Network, or was.
I think the Broncos will get their 18 points this game, but hopefully that's not enough this time. That'd be funny.
We'll see.
The Broncos should be able to score 18 points on this.
Trash,
Raiders
garbage,
defense.
pathetic defense. Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Let's just
I mean,
hope that if they do, that the Raiders can actually make their field goals and get a few more touchdowns to Devontae.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'll take all the Devontae touchdowns we can get, please, and thank you. This week.
Yeah, I'm not going against Devontae in fantasy, so I can just enjoy Devontae scoring left and right in this one.
I don't have this game on YouTube TV, Brandon.
Oh, really? You have
Yeah.
You had the same login as me. It's on Fox, which is weird.
I think it's because I'm on the road. I'm in a different. They're playing the FIFA World Cup. Who gives a crap about soccer?
Hey, now.
we can watch a couple 3-win teams battle it out. Come on.
Yeah, they are showing.
Phil cares about soccer, Adam.
Well, Phil cares about a lot of things that maybe you can care a little less about. But hey, to each their own.
That could be true.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm sure that's probably true for,
well, I wonder,
for different people's perspective.
And we don't have a Sunday ticket login anymore, do we?
No, we don't.
Yeah, the Fox here in Spokane is FIFA stuff. It's
Interesting.
like just hype for Team USA. And then CBS is the Cowboys.
Yeah. So it's supposed to keep me in my home range. Oh, no, it's telling me I'm in Portland, but I told it I was traveling.
Do you have a VPN?
No.
No.
If you VPN, you can
If
say
you have it on the NFL app, Adam. I can probably use that.
Maybe I can do it on NFL now. Let's see.
I shall be bowing out at halftime to go have some dinner.
dinner.
Yeah, I got a neighbor. Well, not neighbors, but people that live in town who are good friends of ours that are moving. They're moving next week. They're moving to Florida.
Cool.
Yep. So gonna go have a bit of a goodbye dinner with them, which is nice.
See, I know Tony in the chat's a
He's-
football fan too. So
Okay. Only live audio is available via the NFL app.
That's what I saw too.
Russ throwing out to the right. Ooh, back shoulder throw. Looks like a catch by Sutton.
In the end zone or no?
No, just for first down.
Okay, we can deal with that.
So why does NFL Plus do this only audio thing? What's that about?
Well, I don't think they could show the games, right? That's what they give you, and then you get the condensed and the when it's like 3 hours later after the game, it's available.
Inside
They
the
show a lot
person.
of games on the NFL app that are shown on other networks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can watch
Yeah.
Cowboys Vikings right now.
Oh yeah, NFL Plus does supposed to show like the national, the local, right? That's what it's supposed to give you too.
So if you VPN to Denver, would it do it? Do you think?
I don't
It should.
know.
I think that's what I think NFL Plus.
Don't try and get Adam on the VPN thing.
Why is that?
Like try and frustrate him with technology enough. Like we don't need to add in a VPN. He'll end up leaving it on, and then he'll be in Mississippi, and
Right. Yeah.
we don't need that frustration. Got a timeout here, I think, for the Broncos, but they are inside the 5-yard line with 40 seconds left on the
Woof.
clock. 41 seconds left. 2nd and 2, so they could get a first down here.
Wait, so Amy made a comment a few minutes ago that Salah called the Jets defense out. Does she mean like after today, after giving up just 3 points, or at some other point? Does she mean that when he was on the Niners?
Question.
Because like
Run play by the Broncos.
Adam, did you see how the Patriots game ended?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I listened to a short bit of it though.
Yeah, so 3-3 the entire game basically, right? The Jets punt with 12 seconds to go, and Patriots returned the punt for a touchdown.
That is absurd, man.
It's so perfect with Jets.
Oh, it's perfect Jets, and it's so Belichick too. Like, yeah, they scored 3 points and 1 on special teams. Yeah.
3rd and 1 on the 3.
Yep, 3rd and 1.
Fumble.
Oh yeah?
I think he got the first down before the fumble. So will that make it 1st and goal from the 7 or 8 now?
Depends on where the ball is, right?
I mean, or depends on if the opposing team recovered.
Yeah.
Who recovered?
Looked to be the Broncos.
Wow. So Amy's saying after the loss today, Salah called out the Jets defense. I don't get that. They had like 6 sacks. They kept them to,
3
Patriots
points.
are not a powerhouse, but still. Like
They don't get the first down for that. I thought that since they crossed. No.
I'm gonna watch it now. I'll let you know.
I mean, the net result of the play was a
They
loss,
still had
right?
Yeah, so they still had the ball. There was no change of possession.
Recovered by Miners at the 7.
So since there was no change of possession, then it would be 4th down. Okay.
All
That
right.
gets
I'm
them
assuming
away
they're trotting the field goal unit out there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Did the Colts end up beating the Eagles?
No, the Eagles scored a touchdown late and ended up winning by just a point.
His name's back to Jeff Saturday. No more Jeff Sunday.
I don't know. Playing that team that tough, I still call him Jeff Sunday.
I was just wondering if it bonked.
What happened?
It bonked.
Is this the international sign for bunk?
Jazz hands.
Was it
Bronco
double
mid
dunk?
kicker?
No, single bonk. I only have 9 fingers. I can't do a real double hand.
Was it blocked or did it doink? I think it was blocked.
It doinked. Oh, do you think it blocked? Blocked
Yeah.
and doinked?
Let's see. I'm just seeing it in here on my end now.
Blocked.
Like it was tipped. Yeah.
Blocked and doinked.
Oh yeah, because it didn't even hit the upright.
No.
Okay.
Awesome. Lovely.
I knew I needed my eyes
Some
checked.
choice words from Hackett there to nobody. Just cussing at the air.
Nobody's listening. Maybe
Well,
he's
we've
not
got our
listening.
first appearance of the Let's Ride curse in this game.
Yeah,
There you
there it
go.
was. That was
There
a
it is.
beautiful block.
Well,
McDaniels,
Adams-
he's running along the sidelines. I love the Let's Ride curse. Yeah.
That's it. Adam shows up and the Let's Ride curse just does
That's
its
it.
thing.
Yeah.
It's halftime now.
Oh yeah, he definitely blocked that. Awesome.
Captain
All right,
Kirk's
fellas.
having a tough time against Dallas.
I'm gonna go have some dinner with these peeps. Be great, and I will be watching the game. So I'll just go Raiders, and we'll talk.
All right, man.
All right. See you, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Well, this is interesting. So I'll get because I can get red zone, so I'll get some Broncos along the way, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Oh, well, you'll get it during the important moments at least.
Yeah.
So now you can watch
I thought you
Vikings.
said you had it on your NFL mobile app.
No, I told
Listening
you I
only.
could only listen to it.
Oh,
Yeah, they did listening only on the mobile app today.
I have it on my. I guess because it's the local game in my area.
Sometimes if it's on a tablet instead of a phone, you can't do it.
I don't know. I don't know if.
Well,
It's,
I know that's a fact, but I can only do StreamYard over the phone, so it's
Yeah.
tied up.
Gotcha.
Isn't Montana like a lot? I mean, when I remember when I lived there, there's a lot of donkey fans there. So they.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really. What's the deal with that? Is it the time zone thing?
It's so you're either if you're on the east side of the state, it's the closest NFL team.
Okay.
Yep.
What about the Vikings? They're
They're further away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, there was this weird thing, and you could call in and vote. Should we play the Seahawks game or the Bronco game? Do you guys remember that at all? Like on the local Montana channels in Kalispell? I I think they were on
know.
NBC back then, and you could call in and vote, and you could vote for Seahawks or Broncos, and it was often close.
Interesting.
You
I can't
guys don't
imagine.
remember-
I don't remember them doing that in our market, but
In Kalispell,
yeah, huh? But
like,
that's interesting.
the Seahawks were hideous in '94, so they were doing that a bunch. I think that was before that was while we were still in they were both in the AFC, so we're on the same channel.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of Packers fans, a fair amount of Vikings fans, and then Broncos and Seahawks, and those are your four.
In the East Side, probably you're either Vikings or Broncos, right?
Probably. I'd say more Packers fans than Vikings fans. Yeah. But I did hear you guys talking about Colin Cowherd's greatest take that he's ever made in his entire life.
Does he believe this stuff when he says it?
I think he believes this one. And look, as he was saying it, it was kind of like, well, okay. I mean, it does make a tiny bit of sense, but also too, like, why would you bring in that guy who is a locker room cancer, is ancient, doesn't want to play football anymore, doesn't want to get hit anymore, and you're gonna have to pay him 3 times as much as you paid Gino? Like, why? And give up draft capital.
And
No,
he's
thanks.
40, right? He's
Yeah.
40.
Because he was talking about what, a first round pick, a second round pick.
He's like, and then they'll still have a first and still have a second. It's like, well, yeah, or we could just keep the quarterback that plays at about that level, if not higher this year, and pay him less, and then draft a bunch of defensive dudes and then win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we could do.
Yeah. It's like, just because we have picks doesn't mean we need to trade them for old guys.
No.
I don't get it. I understand, like, Rodgers, his stats, he has terrible surrounding tools compared to what Gino has. So you just look at it from that. But I really just go back to thinking Colin hasn't watched how good Gino is this year. I don't think he has. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, because why else would he? There'd be no reason to say that unless he's just thinking, oh, he's a free agent, he's gone.
I think a lot of people just think, okay, fine, Gino had that 1 year. That's neat. He'll come back down to earth next year. You can't bank on that. I think there's a lot of people that are kind of in that mindset. They just can't believe it. They just can't believe that Gino is this guy right now.
right.
Yeah. Until he does something in the playoffs, the national guys aren't going to be on board with the Gino parade.
Right. Oh, I just saw Trey Flowers for the Bengals make a play. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's surprising. So, Brandon, are you giving up on any chance of a second seed, or do you still kind of holding out hope?
A second seed for
The playoffs.
I don't.
The Tampa Bay kind of ended that one for me, I think.
Well, I don't. What?
Because we have 4 losses, and the Vikes and Eagles both have 1. A 2 seed is awesome because you play at home, and if you win, you get to play at home again for sure.
Right.
It's the only way to, but it's going to be pretty tough for us to pass either the Vikings
Either
or
the
the
Vikings
Eagles.
or the Eagles. Yeah.
I think one of them has a ridiculously easy schedule too. I can't remember which one.
I just want to win the division, Phil. Like, I guess I haven't been thinking ahead to having one of the top 2 seeds.
I want to win in the playoffs.
You know, just
that's-
taking it 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
Just focus on the bye right now and getting healed up, and just gonna come back and really focus. And yeah,
I knocked my
Phil knocking
tablet
the camera
over.
over.
I didn't know how many different tropes you were gonna spray there for a second.
oh
All
yeah,
the Russell ones. All the Russell ones. I'm just glad to have my team. I'm glad for all the guys I get to work with here. You know, we're just resting up. Yeah, at the end of
resting
the
up.
day,
They'll come back next week, and we're gonna put in the work. I mean, separations in the preparation, and
it's
we
next
just
play.
we have a lot of respect for the Raiders. You saw what they did to the Broncos this last week, and Hottie McDaniels. He's a heck of a coach. We gotta look out for him. And
Now, Thornton might have a good point here. You re-sign Gino, you trade for Aaron Rodgers, and then you wait for Matt Stafford to get hurt, and then you trade Rodgers to the Rams and get 2 first picks from the Rams.
They don't have first.
I was
picks.
gonna say, which ones?
One's in the future. They were trying to trade they were trying to trade for a pass rusher here at the trade deadline and give up, I don't know, what was it, a 2024 or 2025 first round pick?
They're done, man. They've tanked their future for this.
Hey,
They
got
got
one Super Bowl out of the deal.
Yeah.
I think if you're the Raiders or you're the Rams fan, then you just be content with the fact that you did get a Super Bowl out of it.
How depressing to be a fan now, though. It's like, well, we enjoyed it. Now it's over.
Oh,
like,
they'll still be fans of the Chargers.
Okay. How depressing to be Aaron Donald. Like, why didn't he just go ahead and retire? Like,
He will this year.
You think so?
Oh yeah. There's no way this comes back and reboots next year. I guarantee you McVay is going to be in the booth somewhere.
He actually might be pretty fun at that. I think I've heard him talk a little bit. Would you
Well,
be
it'd be
sad?
fun to make fun of.
Are you sad to lose McVay? Or do you know,
No, get the fuck out. See you later. Don't let the door hit you. Take your hair gel with you.
I'd be sad to lose Kingsbury, but not McVay.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
Kingsbury we enjoy having.
Well, I don't even know if it matters. It seems like, I mean, Jeff Fisher had the Seahawks number.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. If we can't beat this team, then I'm going to feel like there's some kind of weird curse against us from the Rams. The ghost of Jeff Fisher is still haunting us or something.
Yeah.
They're on their third string quarterback and horrible offensive line. Yeah.
Ooh, Ramsey. Sam
watched
says,
you.
yeah.
Watch a
What's
little
going
bit of
on?
that game. He's allowing catches and pointing finger at teammates.
Yeah, they're
Camden with the blasphemy. McVay's going to retire and Shane Waldron will get the job. No.
Ooh, that's actually a decent prediction right there.
That's
by
possible.
Cam.
Prediction,
Yeah.
but it makes me feel gross.
Yeah, I don't want to lose Shane already. I am a little worried about it. If we continue this well, I think he's going to be a top pick for somebody.
I don't think this year. You
Probably
got to do it for
interviews.
more than 1 year, right?
He might get a couple interviews though,
Yeah, probably. Get some practice.
and at least he's boring as all get out. So that
Citing
gives
as
us a chance.
it's called for pass interference.
At least
What's
his
that,
interviews, I bet, are super
Oh no, that's
boring.
not Trey Flowers.
Oh yeah. Are you watching a little bit of Bengals while you're at halftime?
Yeah, well, I think it's still on halftime for the Broncos Raiders.
It is, as far as I can tell. I kicked it over to Red Zone. I think they'll tell us when it's going to come back on.
Lauren saying Rams and Seahawks games are just awful to watch. Was that one game the Super Bowl year 9-6?
We did have the awesome one that I was at where Tyler Lockett caught the toe tapper. It was like they on the missed field goal at the end. That was a super fun one. That's the one fun game I remember against the Rams, actually.
Right.
And we needed a missed field goal at the end just to win.
Yeah.
Oh, Vikings down big to the Cowboys, or at least 2 scores, huh?
Yeah, I guess that could help. I suppose, would we want the Cowboys to win that game then if we're worrying about playoff seeding?
Sure. I guess. I'm not worried about playoff seeding. Like, just making the playoffs this year is, and Dallas just scored again.
Remember, Adam's one game at a time. He's one moment at a time.
That's exactly right. Can't let things get too big or, too small, too high, too low. Got to keep, everything neutral.
Your expectation is what's next, right?
That's exactly right. I just wake up every morning. The first thing I think is what's next and why not us? So
There's a king in every room.
that's exactly right. King in every crowd. Yep.
Oh, crowd. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
See, you forget, Phil. Adam has these memorized. He's watched all of Russ's press conferences twice
For 10 years.
for 10 years.
Once you've watched them twice, you've watched them all.
That's exactly right.
It was fun for the first year when he was a rookie and he was saying all this stuff. It's like, oh, this is a mature dude.
Yeah.
That's one thing about this game coming up against the Rams is I feel at least now we have the offensive line and they don't have quite as many defensive linemen to be concerned about. But it really was that, they just had our offensive line overmatched these past years.
Yeah. Especially the center position.
So what's been the most fun thing about this year, guys? Like, has it been the offensive line finally letting them play? Like, what's been the most fun thing you've thought about the Seahawks so far?
That's a good question. What the most fun? Because, the low hanging fruit's the Geno thing, right? Like just
Sure.
seeing him be who he is. But I gotta say, man, it to me it's the tackles. I am so giddy over the fact that we've got that on lockdown now, and we don't have to pay him for 4 years. That's such a huge deal.
Awesome. Yeah.
And it makes life so much easier in terms of bolstering the defense this offseason. I can't wait for it.
Like Andy says, if we're gonna lump, if Adam gets to lump 2 players, why don't we just lump in all the rookies together? Because
that makes sense. Yeah,
I mean,
It's a great
Woolen,
strength.
yeah, I'm seeing Woolen in the chat. Matthew saying Tariq, the snail, Abe Lucas, and I mean for me too, Ken Walker. I know he is coming off kind of a rough game, but if they can figure out how to, whether they, I think they
But he
just
got
need
a
to,
screen pass. So
we're starting to see more passing. So if they can get him involved with in the pass game too, if the run game's not working up the middle, like it was in the last game.
A little more decisive though, right? He needs to be a little more decisive.
And speaking of being decisive, Sam's saying the most fun is Geno's decision making. We thought Pete wouldn't allow throws on 3rd down and go for it on 4th, but he knows Geno will make the right decision.
it's a great point. And Pete's definitely having maybe one of the more fun parts is watching Pete do a victory lap this entire freaking season. That has been just so much joy for me to watch, man. Like I love all of his subtle shots.
Broncos fumble it on the goal line on the kickoff, but he's able to pick it up and move it out to the 12. So Broncos starting off in bad field position to start the second half.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Broncos country. Let's fumble.
I know. I know nobody said as far as most fun being here's one that like makes me nervous, but it's also awesome. We've been very healthy other than Jamal Adams. I feel like as healthy as we've been, we shouldn't be surprised with how good we're doing, to keep your O-line this healthy. The surprising part is I thought it would take the O-line a while to get their groove on. And I was like, I hope they can stay healthy long enough to get their groove, but they really got their groove early. Now if we keep healthy, that this team there's nobody I'm afraid of. There's no defense I'm terrified of in the NFC going into the playoffs with these guys. Shut up, Phil. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Andy.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Is this some kind of commentator's curse concern?
Yeah. He's worried about the commentator's curse.
I thought I just had a terrible take. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, but you do see what a difference it makes to have a really young team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot easier to stay healthy when you have a young team. There's no doubt about it.
That's a great point. Yeah, they're not nearly as beat up.
2nd and 14 for the Broncos here. 10 seconds on the play clock. Quick pass out to the left to the running back. Tackled just right at the sticks.
Yeah, I saw that run play just before that one, man. He got pushed.
To get back to the line of scrimmage after the 4-yard loss.
Yeah.
Creed Humphrey instead of Eskridge. Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, they'd probably be better. I've seen some pretty good things about our center. Austin's done pretty good things in the passing game. He gets a little overwhelmed.
He's slightly above average, Brandon. That's where he's at.
He's rating pretty decently.
Slightly at about average. Yeah.
And his availability has been good.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I like his availability.
Russell goes down.
Yes.
2-yard sack by Max Crosby.
I would have liked to watch that, but instead on Red Zone, I get to see Kenny Pickett lollipop a touchdown pass.
What's up with the Bengals? I thought they'd be better this year.
I think that offensive line is still an issue. I haven't watched a lot of Bengals football this year to know kind of what's going on with them.
Yeah, Sojan says, what's the word on Trey Brown? Were you answering that? I've been all over the place here.
Oh, no, I haven't answered yet.
Okay.
But Trey Brown, it looks like we could see him after the bye week, I think. I mean, he did get brought up to the active roster, right? Taken off of IR.
Yep. And he was a return man in college, Brandon.
What's going on down here? They run into the punter?
I don't know if the Hawks can solidify this return thing. I kind of like DJ, and now he's gone. He's
good acting by the punter.
Oh, yeah.
The guy didn't touch him, but was under his foot. They're calling running into the kicker because he dove and then the punter fell on top of him and then rolled around like he was in pain.
Did a soccer flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's World Cup season. You got to do some of that.
I might flop in the mill tomorrow. See if they can
Just-
send me home.
Just see if they know what's going on. This is this,
just be like walking and just act like a sniper, hits me in the shin or something, and I'm just gonna go down.
You get up behind somebody, you bump them with your shoulder, then you go flying and you start grabbing your shin. That's how you have to do it.
Yeah.
You scream and wail.
That's
Like
exactly-
some of them actually scream and you can hear it come through the broadcast. And then you go watch and what they're holding didn't even get touched.
that sounds about
I don't think McDaniels would be fired for a loss to the Broncos necessarily.
He's not getting fired this year.
No.
Because of his contract and they have no money, right?
I don't think Bondville and Davis is he's not really quick to just pull the trigger on things like that. I think he's going to let it ride out a little bit with.
And he's tight with his checkbook.
Well, there's that. I mean, that's the idea. But you say that, but then he gave Gruden, what was it, 100 million or whatever it was. So
What's that?
I don't know.
So now they're going to punt again.
Who does Trey Brown compete for with snaps? It wouldn't be Mike. You think it would be Mike
gotta be-
Jackson, or do you think it'd be Kobe?
I think it'd be Kobe.
I don't really see him as a slot player.
Don't necessarily think that that's his best position is in the slot, but Kobe didn't play a lot of slot in college either. He was their
Yes.
other outside corner.
They
Sure.
did say when they drafted Trey that they thought he was going to be outside. Now that I think about it, even Pete said that. So that might swing toward him just being a backup. I don't think he's better than Mike Jackson right now. Do you?
I don't
guys?
know. I haven't seen Trey Brown in about a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to what we saw with Trey Brown last year, I thought he was good. I don't know that. I mean, was he better than Jackson?
He was fine. A lot of upside, I guess. A lot of people were higher on Trey Brown than I was. But
Jackson's physical, but Trey Brown's pretty physical too.
I'd love to see a way to get Kobe off the field. But
Well, and Camden in the chat saying Josh Jones, like if they play multiple DBs, could you see Trey filling in at more of that safety type spot?
I think you'd move Ryan Neal back there, right? And then
Well, no, I'm thinking if you're having three safeties on the field to where it's because they've been playing Jones a lot on those dime packages.
Yeah, you're
I think
talking
I'd rather
cover
have
six.
Trey in there over Jones.
Yeah.
maybe.
Raiders got the ball there at midfield. That penalty was declined. Ooh, good run.
Brown would definitely be better in coverage than Jones. Just a matter of,
15-yard run by Jacobs.
Dang.
there we go.
Still having a good year despite McDaniels.
Yeah, Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, their
Eric
offense.
Hudson, who was on the other side of Brown when he was active. So last year it was Trey Brown, Sidney Jones,
DJ.
Yeah. DJ. Yeah.
DJ Reed. Yeah,
He's been balling for the Jets, man.
Yeah,
they have a good secondary. That Jets team.
Yeah, the Raiders' offense isn't terrible. They just their defense is hideous.
No, and if they can run the ball with Jacobs against the Broncos defense, I'm a little worried about if they just decide to hammer the rock against the Seahawks.
Oh, I totally think we just didn't get ready for the run, Brandon. I don't think that's a testament on our run defense yet. I mean,
I don't know. I've seen more games this year where the run defense was a problem than not.
but it's been a little bit, hasn't it? I mean, we did good against the Giants, who were a great run team.
Yeah.
I think if we go out and we're like, we'll never make this mistake again, we've got to stop the run, because
Maybe.
stop the run, then you can have fun. That was their phrase. And then they show up and they go to Germany and they're like, this team can't run. We don't even bring in our best run defenders. We're going to get for more interior pass rush, because that's all we got to worry about. If they did that for their personnel, don't you think when they were prepping their calls and everything, it was all about Brady's quick pass game? Because this team can't run. So I don't know that we can count Tampa, the run game against Tampa, because I don't think they were properly prepared. And I hope they don't ever make that mistake again. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, basically you have two defenses this year, right? You have the defense that for, 5 games or 4 games, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Can't stop the run for nothing. Get run all over. And then you've got a defense that for 4 games has looked really good against the run. So you're probably not as good as your best. And you're probably not as bad as your worst. So it's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I would think the defense would be able to handle the Raiders for the most part coming up here. But especially with as anemic as their passing attack is this year, I mean, Carr and Adams somehow have zero chemistry. I don't know how that is, but it's a problem for them.
Does he have how many?
Raiders ran on third down, got stopped. They're punting here? Oh, no, they're kicking a field goal. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't know.
I thought I heard Adams had 500-yard games this year. Was I wrong?
52-yard attempt.
500-yard games.
5 100-yard games.
For
with Carr this year.
I don't know. As far as passing?
Yeah. You think Adams hasn't played well with Carr?
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I was just
talking
going back
about
to
Carr.
how you said that Carr can't play with Adams. I thought he had 500 yards.
I mean, he might. I'm just saying that the chemistry isn't there like it was with Rodgers.
Sure.
I'm not saying he can't play with him.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's not quite the same, and their passing attack as a whole is struggling.
Yeah. Rodgers is a little better than Carr, probably throwing. Especially the last couple of years until this year.
Yeah.
Maybe not going forward. Yeah, Camden, I hope that Trey being out there could be some sort of a solution because we're going to keep seeing that play at least once. But, yeah, Raiders tied it up. It is now 10-10, 10:37 left in the third quarter. And Andy pointing it out, something Adam already knows, Red Zone refusing to show the Broncos game.
Yep, absolutely refusing.
Samuel, $3 super chat for the 3-point field goal.
If Sam's going to make this a habit, he's going to have to root for some low scores, man.
I don't know. I think Sam's just rooting for a win.
I like it.
Yeah, we did seek out the game that's like all about draft picks. Like it's got the least amount of wins for the day combined.
I'm going to step aside for the commercial break here.
Okay. Fortunately, did that right as I took a bite of burger.
Oh, okay. So, Adam, you're not really hoping for wins in the playoffs. You're just are you still on, like, you haven't readjusted your expectations? You're just still enjoying as you go? You're not crazy emotionally invested in the season yet?
Oh, I'm crazy emotionally invested in it, but I definitely, I'm still feeling like we're playing with house money. Like,
yeah,
everything is a win, right? So, like, am I still, am I going to be rooting for wins in the playoffs? You bet. Absolutely, man. I want to go to the Super Bowl, but, the odds are that they might be a first-round exit, and that would still be a huge win for this team this year. And whether they're the 2 seed or the 6 seed, I don't care. Like, just make the playoffs. That's a celebration, man. We'll go from there.
I was totally cool early in the season when we lost. Like after we beat the Broncos, that was our Super Bowl. Now I'm just going to enjoy myself and watch the developing, hope the tackles get good, hope we can see some Walker. Maybe one of these defensive backs will be good. And so I was thinking, this is just going to be fun. No matter what, I'm fine because it's all about next year. But then we started playing well. And then even when we lost to New Orleans, I still hadn't got there yet. But losing to Tampa was a bigger deal because now I feel like we're trying to do something here. Now I feel like we don't want to miss an opportunity. You don't get to have a team this healthy, a quarterback this hot, all this youth and just chuck it away. Sure, we're gonna next year we got a lot to look forward to, but now I'm getting more to where losses are a lot bigger deal than I expected they would be going into the season. But maybe not everybody's here is there yet. I agree with the house money. That's where I started, but it's hard for me to stay there now.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. What about you, Brandon? Are you rooting for big time wins here? Are the losses stinging? Like, how's that?
Yeah, I guess I'm not quite to the point because I didn't feel the sting of this last loss too much. So it's more. Yeah, I'm kind of in that point to where I'm happy with the way the season is going. But once we're guaranteed a playoff spot, I'm going to want to win all those games, and it's going to disappoint me. So yeah.
You're still thankful no matter what. Yeah. I
will be, and I think I'm going to be at where you're at, Phil. It's just going to take me a couple more weeks until it's, that playoff position solidified.
We got a good chance of winning the division, and we mess it up.
That would piss me off. Especially with the Rams.
Right through the Broncos' hands.
Oh my gosh, yet another drop.
Dude,
and the flag on the play too.
Russ got whacked.
Oh, defensive offsides.
Crosby jumped in a little bit on that one.
Crosby jumped it, but that should have been a huge play.
Yeah, to me, the Bucs loss was really understandable because I think it was bad coaching, game planning. And I'm not even mad at the coaches because it was a game plan I probably would have ran out there. So it's like, this is how I'm thinking we should play them. And then we lost because of that.
Right.
So then I'm like, oh, okay, they got us. But I'm bummed that it really hurts our positioning for success we can have in the playoff. Because I feel like the team was good enough to beat the Bucs. If we had thought it and did it again, I feel like our team was good enough, and we should have almost if we had schemed it right. So it hurt in that this team is too good to be losing these kinds of games and messing up an opportunity. That's kind of more how it is. Not that I'm not having fun still.
No, and I think for me too, it helped that it was the game right before the bye week because it put that perspective in it for me. Like I had no expectation of being at 6-4 going into the bye week. So it felt like, okay, we beat expectations to this point. You're coming off a 3 or 4 game win streak. It was a bummer that it wasn't another game to add to that win streak. But like Adam was saying, maybe it was a really good thing to have a loss going into the bye week, so that way you're not thinking for 2 straight weeks that
your shit don't stink.
Yeah.
So you don't do a tune-up. You don't go in and get things tuned up that need tuned up because you're thinking, hey, we just need to keep this thing rolling. Let's actually look it all over and make sure everything's all schnazzied up for the big race to the end. Yeah,
I think that having a good loss, like they didn't get blowed out. It wasn't anything like that. But I think a tough loss like that, a close game where they were coming back and after, falling behind, they were about to complete the comeback. I think that's just great coaching tape. And I think it's really going to help Pete throughout the bye week, no doubt.
Yeah. So that brings up a good question that Sam has on here. Do you think Russ would rather play great and lose or lose the game and him look terrible? Just thinking about his psyche a little bit. Is he going to be happier that he didn't mess it up? And what do you guys think about Russ on that?
Well, I mean, after you started hearing the stories about him getting pissed off about MVP votes and Pete not throwing the ball enough. What was that, against the Falcons or the Saints or whatever it was a couple years back? And, how they all started wondering if they're playing as a team for his MVP candidacy or for the playoffs. And, I think right now it's most important for him to look good for a few weeks, for sure.
7 for the Broncos right now. 8 seconds on the play clock. They should be able to get the snap off. 5. Yep. There we go. Broncos 3rd and 7. Russ drops back. Rolling out right. Oh, he gets hit as he throws out of bounds.
Nice.
4th and 7.
I'll take it.
Cool. They just cut on Red Zone to the Broncos Raiders game just to go back and show the Raiders field goal.
Now?
Yeah.
You're just now getting the Raiders field goal?
Give me a break. And then they, instead of showing the Broncos Raiders game, they were showing a replay review on the Dallas Vikings instead of an actual game.
Yeah, well, for the rest of the season, Adam, if you try to watch a loser on Red Zone, they're not going to show them much. Yeah. And thankfully, the Broncos are in this category.
Well, the other games are at halftime now, so come on, man.
Right?
I'm just watching Mike Tomlin walk around the sidelines.
Russ would rather throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns a game but lose than win and look bad.
It's funny how many people think that about him now. And I wonder if it's not totally there isn't some truth to it.
There's got to be a little, right? I mean, all these rumors and everything, like for one, like that Columbus thing, talking about how he's using the wrong signals and this, that, the other thing, right? He's losing his mind. It's like,
Yeah.
well, okay, I don't totally believe that, but I'm sure like there's some things, right? Like he's maybe using different checks and things like that now and then. But
Well, if you think about it too, you might think of some of these things being universal to other
right,
teams.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He did name his child Win. Like he said he wants to be a great winner, Adam.
Yeah, well, he went to the wrong team for that.
He wants to win for Russ, though. Maybe not win for his team. I don't know.
Yeah, they just picked up a 3rd and short, though, to keep the drive alive until they can get Melvin Gordon to get back in there and fumble.
I think we are in a commercial now, though, so
Yeah.
that's probably why they're not showing the game. But
He just had a run on first down. Is that right?
They just had a run on 3rd down on my stream. The 3rd and inches, picked it up. It's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Yeah.
Who's
Hand
that?
off to Murray, 2 yards.
Or you're on the Broncos game now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're like 4 plays behind.
Cool.
2nd and 7.
Yeah,
Russ
that's
is
what
15 for 17 right now.
I'm right with Phil then. So
Russ
okay.
is starting to play as good as Geno. Oh, except he tried to throw a pick there, and the Raiders just played their usual defense. That's some poor awareness by 33.
I think, I think, and Beta makes a good point, and people who are on the side of Russ, of him wanting to win, I think that if he were on a team that was consistently winning, but I think we're looking at this from a perspective of if you're not going to go to the playoffs, that Russ would rather look good losing. Whereas if you were on a team where, it looked like they were going to the playoffs, they were.
Yeah.
But I think
Brandon, if he wanted to be on a team that wins consistently, why did he leave town?
Why would you leave Pete Carroll that always wins everywhere he goes since his first firing from the NFL? That doesn't make sense.
It's about that's a nice compliment, Camden.
Well, I'm breathing.
I can't decide if it's
a low bar, but it is a nice compliment.
Yeah.
What is it called? Damning with faint praise. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a better candy than candy corn. How about that?
Or what's the circus peanuts? They make candy corn delicious.
All right, Raiders got the ball. 2nd and 3.
Okay, I'm with you now.
We got 3rd and 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I'm behind now?
No, I got 2nd and 3 with you, Brandon.
Okay.
Jacob's up the middle for nothing skis.
Nothing.
Carr's 12 for 15 with a touchdown and no picks. So, I mean, their stats are similar. Well, I guess the game's 10-10. So here the stats are similar.
I'm with you, Camden. Screw these guys about their candy corn hate, especially Brandon. Not everything can be a Reese's, Brandon. Okay.
Okay. So what's worse, circus peanuts or good and plenty?
What are circus peanuts?
The little orange peanut puff things that are kind of hard marshmallows. They're orange.
Oh, yeah. No, those are the worst thing. Yep. Those are the worst.
They're worse than good and plenties?
Yes.
Plenties are pretty bad, though.
I know.
Those are the ultimate.
First down for the Raiders.
Yeah, nice check
Broncos.
down.
Those are the Broncos and Raiders on red zone. I would have to say good and plenty and circus peanuts.
That sounds about right.
Samuel coming in with
Wow,
12
big money.
and super chat. Legit question. Do you think the national media had an effect on Russ? I like to think that their opinions on the Hawks can be ignored, but if it's affecting players on the team, we can get outraged more.
Maybe.
I think
it might affect free agency, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as for Russ, I think it was kind of one of those feedback loops, right? Like everybody around him is kind of like, yeah, they should let you cook. You should be a chef. He's like, yeah, I want to cook. I don't like being, a prep chef. And and then it all just kind of fed back on itself, right? Because then the more that he complained publicly or or behind the scenes publicly, then the media got louder, which then fed back into, well, I don't want to be here. Away you go. And his ego got bigger. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
got.
you go into Safeway and he's got
right
like
there.
he's got the apron on and the ladle out.
yeah,
Russ cook. Remember, did you guys have that? The Safeway.
we did
Alberts?
not. We did not.
Russ
Yeah.
in there getting ready to cook. You could buy all the
What?
equipment, let Russ cook equipment. That lasted like 2 weeks. All the displays
Hey, that's
were down.
longer than the Subway commercial.
Spicy.
So Simmons gets a late hit on Adams, or like a defenseless receiver hit.
Yeah.
And then, he did the thing that DK did, pointing at the official.
Yeah.
And saying the word "you."
Yeah.
And then so they flag Devontae.
Yeah. They didn't call the helmet-to-helmet hit either, I don't think, did they?
I don't know if it was helmet to helmet. It was a good shoulder hit, I think, but it was that they could have called defenseless hit on a defenseless receiver.
Yeah.
Um,
And then even the Bronco did the old Euro soccer where he, like, after he saw him fall, he went flying.
Yeah. Oh, Nathaniel Hackett with the strategic 2nd and 25 timeout.
Hackett called that timeout?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That he was walking around talking to nobody, just chewing his lower lip.
Strategic timeouts in the first half, that's one thing. You do it in the second half. There better be a really good reason.
What is a 2nd and 25 timeout ever strategic?
Put some guys on Devontae, guys. Go.
Yeah.
You guys make sure Devontae doesn't
Just go stand by the sticks. Don't let anybody pass here.
Going back to Sam's comment about the national media, I suppose if you consider Colin Cowherd being the national media, because it does seem like that's where Russ likes to play all his commentary through his agent.
Him and Dan Patrick, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it. I think Patrick, that part was only because of his Man of the Year nomination.
I know, but he's been on Dan Patrick's show a few times.
Yeah.
He does like the national commentators. Seems to connect with them better than he ever did he had his guy there on the Seattle radio for a while. He could talk through.
Hey, Larry, that when this is our first time trying this, so
yeah,
I had no idea how we were going to sync up. When Adam and I tested it out, though, we both had YouTube TV on both of our places.
And at the same channel, yeah.
Adam doesn't have the YouTube TV while he's on the road, so.
Well, I do have it. It's just it put me into the Portland area.
Right. Yeah.
And now won't let me watch the game.
You guys actually tested it out, huh?
Well, we did it. What were we? Oh, because we were recording our show when it was Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
And so
that Thursday Night Football is the perfect one to do it on.
Or wait.
Because at Amazon Prime, everybody's on the same.
Yeah, no, we didn't do it on Amazon Prime though. We were trying it on YouTube TV. But maybe that wasn't Thursday when we were trying. I don't know.
Guess not. Yeah. Hard telling.
This is a really good, or I should say it's a close game between two terrible teams.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's setting up for the classic Broncos lose 19 to 17.
Yeah, I hope so. 19 to 17.
Raiders punting here. Not a fair catch. Why didn't they hit him?
I don't know, but he fumbled.
He almost fumbled, or he did fumble. I couldn't tell.
The Broncos have the worst kick return juju as well.
That was the worst special teams coverage by the Raiders. Like, he stood there and allowed the guy to catch it, and then dude took off running. Why don't you hit him?
Okay, bye. You just wave at him.
Yeah, I am not worried about playing the Raiders at all. I'm actually a little more worried about the Panthers than the Raiders.
Nathaniel Hackett labeled this game Gambling Goat. He said somebody has to win this game. Somebody has to win this game bowl.
They can't both lose. Well, we could get a 10-10 tie.
Yeah, it's in play.
I don't mind if there's a tie tomorrow night or a Cardinal win.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Cards big time.
Thankfully, they seem to play decent against the Winers.
8 penalties for 93 yards by the Raiders so far. You can't expect a Raiders football team to not be
No.
penalized.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Too
their
much
deal.
history.
That's their franchise identity.
It's how the Raider do. Yeah.
They were just raidering. Seahawks have really improved on that this year. That's been nice to see. I don't know what the deal is there, but with all the rookies, we have more rookie starters than ever, and it's like one of our more disciplined teams.
I think part of it's got to be Pete is just on fire. I think this just totally reinvigorated his entire deal. Like, I think that has a lot to do with it.
He brought in all these genius coaches, and now he can just motivate. He doesn't have to do any of the geniusing. He can just motivate.
Got rid of all the vets, brought in a bunch of young dudes, which he likes, and, it has the challenge of, well, was it Pete or was it Russ? Oh, we all think it was Russ, right? And have that big chip on your shoulder, a boulder on your shoulder for the entire season. I think this has Pete probably doing his best coaching job to date.
It's so easy, too. He doesn't have to say it. All he has to do is point at the scoreboard.
Oh, but he does, though. Wristbands and does what he's told. And
couple little things here and there.
Oh,
all he has to do is compliment Gino, and everybody automatically thinks he's slamming Russ anytime he says.
Well, the thing is like he does things like the wristband thing is a perfect example. Well, Gino's wearing the wristband, it just speeds up the operation. And he could have left it at that, right? And it probably wouldn't have gone too far.
There's a little resistance.
There was a resistance to that in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Broncos got the ball.
First
First down. They run it out of shotgun, up 4 yards. Jacob saying, have you thought about doing a collab with Hawks Nest, or have you done it before or not? Yeah, we've talked to Nathan and the guys from the Hawks Nest plenty of times.
You've done it in the off season, right, Brandon?
It's usually off season. I mean, we both have our own shows, so I think it makes it more difficult just recording wise, scheduling during the regular season.
They're really nice guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll shoot Nathan a message on Discord and see if he wants to drop in.
Who's that?
Nathan. Nathan Santo. I'll shoot him a message on Discord.
See if he's going to jump in.
Yeah. If he's doing anything on a Sunday.
Another draw by Murray for about another 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 3 here.
So I see the Broncos stats. They're pretty decent. They're not running well.
They haven't tried a lot of runs, it seems like. How many attempts do they have?
I have to check.
I think it's time for the back-breaking Russell Wilson pick. I think it's coming right here.
No, they've got 17 attempts so far.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Russ threw a bad pick or if he threw an awesome deep ball. Like either one of those could happen in this game.
Russ's stat line isn't horrible either. 15 to 19, 153 yards.
I mean,
it's efficient.
Yeah.
The Raiders are not making it hard for him, really.
Big 3rd down right here.
You know why I hate the Cowboys so damn much?
They're on all the time.
Yeah. Like, and they're up 23-3. The game's not even close to interesting. And that's all Red Zone wants to show. Like, who gives a crap about that stupid fucking franchise?
Well, isn't the dude that runs, I forgot his name, the Red Zone guy, isn't he a big Cowboys fan?
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Maybe I'm wrong. He sure talks like he is.
I know Skip Bayless is a big Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got 3rd and 3 here. They're out of their timeout.
By Russ.
18 seconds on the play clock.
Oh, hey, they cut in just in time for me to watch Russ take a timeout.
That was a classic Russ.
Oh, no, they're
throwing deep down the left side. Oh, great catch.
No way.
Russ took it in the belly.
Great catch. Holy smokes by Sutton.
Yeah, that was nice.
That should have been picked.
No,
Russ took a helmet
he would have had a run. Ooh, Russ got hit hard.
Yeah.
He slammed him down like a calf.
Oh, he's thrown some good balls getting smacked today.
Catch by Sutton.
Russ has had a fair amount of completions while taking a whack.
Oh, I missed my opportunity to, do a Collinsworth there. Al, I got to tell you, that Russell Wilson, the moon balls, I mean, just, oh, man, Al, let me tell you.
He does love him some moon balls, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And his chuckle.
The chortles.
I kind of like Collinsworth. I don't know.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite guys, I think. Ooh, another run up the middle by the Broncos. First down.
Oh, that's a good question.
Cowboys
Can the Vikings start losing now that they're getting pounded by the stinking Cowboys?
Well, we lost Adam, but we you did gain somebody else. We had him, but now I think StreamYard's messing up.
Yeah, because Wilson kept trying to get in and he couldn't pull it off either.
No. Well, we got EJ Snyder from Bootleg Football joining us.
Well.
We don't have audio for you, EJ, but
damn, you're pretty. So.
We have someone without a beard.
Oh, I
is.
know.
there you go. You guys got to remove the mute button.
No, it's not muted. So my computer resets. My Focusrite shuts off and doesn't take its power. So I need to remind it that it needs to go back to work again. How's everybody?
Great.
10-10?
10-10
for that draft pick,
close
right?
to the end of the third here. Broncos are driving, though.
That'd be better if the Raiders could score more than 18 points here and ensure a win. That'd be great.
Yeah.
They just need a touchdown and a 2 and the game's over is what I hear.
It's what you hear. Oh, man. Yeah, there's been a couple of games today where it's like anybody can score 2 points, wins the game.
Oh, yeah. Today's been a lot of low-scoring games for sure.
Or how about the end of that Jets-Patriots game?
That's the one I was thinking of. It was 3-3 for the whole. I kept looking up 3-3, 3-3, 3-3. Bunch of Patriots fans behind me at the bar. All of a sudden, they went nuts. I look up and see Marcus Jones dancing around, and I was like, "Oh, okay. 4 seconds left. Nice work."
Third chase out of the pocket. Oh, goes down. Sacked.
Nice. Love it.
Fourth down for the Broncos.
So since we got your genius on here, EJ, who should
genius. There's a small setup.
We all know that. Who should the Hawks be looking for? Like a big difference maker on D if the Donkeys can give us a top 10 pick this year.
Oh, top 10 pick. If you're looking for difference makers on D, there's a bunch out there. It depends on, where they want to go. If they think they need middle pressure, there's some really good defensive tackles who can create pressure up the middle, which is a rare skill.
Like
That's
Carter.
Yep.
Is there more than just Carter though?
Yeah, there's a few. I don't know if they'll be going in the top 10. But is it ever really bad to add a guy like Will Anderson on the edge who can create pressure whenever the hell he wants to, pair him with a guy like Boye Mafe, and then you're set for the next, 6-7 years at edge pressure. So, there's guys that can do it. And the cool thing is they have some of the more difficult places to fill on defense. I would say filled or for the most part stable for the next few years. And you don't typically want to be taking corners in the top 10. That's a very high variance thing to do. So if you've already got a good young pair of corners and a safety you like, okay, that's easier. If you're going to be up in the top half of the draft, it's much easier to take a swing on a really athletic pass rusher or athletic defensive tackle. Big difference maker on offense can be equally as difficult, but hey, you got DK Metcalf, so you don't need a big play alpha wide receiver because, bust rate on wide receivers in the first round is higher than any other pick, any other position. Good. So, you kind of have to do it if you need a difference maker on offense, but the chances that you're going to hit are lower than anything else. So much better to go for a really athletic edge who had a lot of production, cough, Will Anderson. So there are guys up there that could do it. And, similarly, the Bears are in a position where they might have to do that too. As much help as they need at receiver, their pass rush is really thin right now, having traded away Robert Quinn. And, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for an athletic 3, because they're probably going to be picking at 3 or 4 at this rate. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went after a guy like Jalen Carter.
Yeah. Most of the teams are going to want Carter if they're not wanting a quarterback, right? Do you think?
Yeah, he's one of those.
Or Carter.
He's one of those guys. There's already folks that I respect a great deal saying that he's the best player in the draft, that he's not the best defender, that he's not the best defensive tackle, that he is the best player in the draft. And it's hard to disagree just with what I've seen from last year. He's a rare dude.
Samuel in the chat asking how many quality quarterbacks are in this class. John's dream to have a desperate team trading up for quarterback, because obviously, EJ, the Seahawks, they might not be drafting a quarterback and at this point now with the success that Geno Smith's having.
I think it would be hard to. Geno's played not just well, but very well. And that puts you in a position where, unless you are 100% sure that he's going to regress for some particular reason, which I don't think they are, drafting a quarterback is problematic. High. I mean, of course, you can draft one. There's one you like in the bottom of the second round or something, and you got to pick. Sure, go for it. But drafting a quarterback high would be really problematic right now. Geno is leading this team. They have great results going. He's playing incredibly efficient football, much better than he has at any other point in his career. So I don't think they're going to be drafting a quarterback high either. I think that would be a pretty problematic move unless you were going to move on from Geno and get something from him, which I don't think they want to do either.
I mean, unless it's one of those situations where you see a guy like Mahomes or Allen where they fall to the top 10 and you really see them as that future franchise guy down the road. And
like if Geno Smith can be your Alex Smith.
They're really sold on a guy like that.
Yeah, Geno Smith to Alex Smith comp is really interesting because right now Geno is playing better than Alex did, except at the very end of his career, because Alex Smith's career is truly fascinating. Yeah. Like, he gets picked high, he goes to the Niners, he muddles along for 4 years, right? And quarterbacks don't get to do that anymore. Like, it's a different league. You don't get to muddle along for 4 years. Like, Zach Wilson's not going to get 4 years of, making 7 completions in a game. That's not a thing. It's not going to happen. And then Alex Smith stays around, starts to surge a little bit with the 49ers, ends up getting traded to the Chiefs, plays pretty darn well there. It's a very similar, sort of Geno arc in terms of years, not necessarily number of teams, but he played more than functional football right at the end. But yeah, then you get a guy like Mahomes and you're like, well, thanks for your more than functional football. We got this guy now.
I wouldn't be sad with that. I wouldn't be sad.
No, I don't think anybody would be sad. Well, nobody should be sad with a Patrick Mahomes at quarterback because he's one of one. You're not going to see another guy like him for a while. But so not needing a quarterback up high, John's pretty happy with that. There are going to be plenty of teams that want quarterbacks, and this is a good quarterback draft. It is better than last year by far. Last year was a pretty thin quarterback draft. This is not. This draft has, unfortunately, Hendon Hooker just blew up his ACL yesterday, which is terrible news. He was going to be in that mix of capable player, a little bit overaged, but had a very good season at Tennessee and was going to be in that mix. So there's always a couple of guys that drop out, but that doesn't mean there aren't going to be very good quarterbacks in this draft. And yeah, if a team gets antsy and needs a quarterback and the Seahawks are there, they could absolutely grab a bunch of picks and move down. And I don't think John would be at all sad with that.
No, definitely not. And Raiders, let's see, going on 3rd down now. That was after the Broncos got 3 points on the field goal. So starting out the 4th quarter, 13-10. And yeah, big 3rd and 8 here for the Raiders.
Bummer.
Bummer.
That didn't work out too good.
When I fired up the stats, it was Carr 14 of 19 and Russell 14 of 19. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What do you got? Mirror day here?
It's a pretty even game.
Airmailed Abdullah down the left side, and Raiders are going to have to punt here.
I'd say Russ has made a couple more big-time throws than Carr.
Yeah,
Carr's started Devontae.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carr to Devontae, 6 for 106,
That's
17
it.
per. Yeah, that's
Those were
what's
mostly
going on.
Devontae. Yeah.
Yep, and 3 to Mac, and after that, not much. 2 to Amir, 1 to a handful of other guys. That's it. Whereas if you look at the Broncos, he's spread it around. 3 to Cortland, 3 to Kendall, 3 to Dulcich, 4 to Gordon.
And they've been good throws where he's been getting whacked too. Like he's made a bigger difference than Carr for sure.
Yeah,
He got hammered at the end of that.
that's another guy that's in a very interesting spot, and a sort of we'll see. You're ending up with people. No offense, but it sounds like you guys at the end of last year. Everybody's like, no, they'll never move on from X. In your case, it was Russell, and there's a lot of Raiders fans who are like, no, they're not moving on from Carr, and there's a lot of Raiders fans who are like, we got to get rid of Carr. And there's a real divide in that fan base, and rightfully so. He hasn't had near the success that Russ has had, but people, NFL fans do not want to go to quarterback purgatory.
Right.
Like
Well,
nobody wants to be without a quarterback. It's a bad place to be.
I thought with Gino that it was going to be in that similar.
I know you did.
Yeah.
We had those conversations, and so did everybody else. That's not to call you out or say anything. Like,
Oh no, I don't feel bad about it.
Call him out, EJ. Call him out.
I don't need to call him out. He was
Yeah.
right in the same. He was sitting in the seat in the bus next to me. I was like, this could get long. Like, he might play okay. He's played much better than okay. The Raiders should be so lucky that they, if they move on from Derek Carr and get picks to do so, that they get something of equal quality. They'd be really happy with that right now. Not very many teams end up with that in their sort of interim status. And even if you do go get some picks and draft a quarterback high, it will be their rookie year. And quarterbacks' rookie years, no matter how good they are not good. Like, Justin Herbert had the best quarterback rookie year ever and didn't win a lot.
Didn't make playoffs.
Nope. So, you can have a great, possibly even generational quarterback prospect. Their first year is going to be up and down. Like, you're not going to do great as a team. And nobody really wants to hear that. And the hope of having some guy that can call the signals for the next 8 years really well is usually enough to get through that. But that's the part that everybody sort of brushes aside and skips over is, we're going to go draft whoever it is, CJ Stroud or whatever else. And he's not going to be awesome, no matter how good he is. Like, he might be good in year 2. He's going to show some flashes. He might get a couple of wins that people don't expect him to, but he's not going to be great overall because nobody is when they're a rookie. They just aren't.
I enjoyed the Rick Meyer years. He was a rookie. That was pretty fun.
That was his one good year.
He was just, we had all these hopes for Rick Meyer, and he basically you have 100-yard games fairly often as a rookie, and we're like, this is awesome. But I mean, it beat Evan McGuire.
Well, we had high hopes for that guy.
Wow. Oh, we are trolling the depths of Seahawks quarterback ghost of Christmas past.
Yeah. You said
no.
when you said QB purgatory, we know what that's about.
Yeah, immediately when you said that, that's where my mind went, was back to QB purgatory of the 90s.
The pre-Hass years,
before Matt Flynn, that.
Yeah.
Before Matt,
couple John Kitna years in there.
Matt Hasselbeck, between Craig and Hasselbeck was just worse than purgatory.
No, my season tickets, the years I had him were in the Hasselbeck era, and I thought Hasselbeck was good enough. He's better than Gino in certain ways, in certain statistics, and I thought he was a good quarterback. And there was a very good team around him too. But the Rick Meyer thing, I wrinkle up my nose because my sister was at Notre Dame for she crossed over with Rick Meyer just a little bit. Like, she graduated when he was, his first year starting. And so I was a big Notre Dame fan at that time because she was going there and following the team. And it's like, oh, Seahawks got Rick Meyer. And then they traded him to the freaking Bears for first. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't like it as much anymore. It doesn't look as good.
That was a good trade.
It was a great trade. Depending on what side you're on, great trade. Yeah. Yeah, lopsided trade. One of the more lopsided trades in NFL history.
That was I think one of those trades that kind of helped set up the future of the Seahawks franchise too. With
Walter Jones, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like when you can take a starter that, any starter, it's not just quarterback starter. When you can take any starter that doesn't fit in your plans anymore and turn them for a first, yeah, you got to hit on the pick, but it takes you, it's like, hey, I have this, 2-week-old cake that I'm not going to eat that somebody's really thrilled about, and they pay me $20. Like, I got to go buy something good, but I am both out the cake and have the opportunity to go buy something good. And that's
kind of like a Russell Wilson, right?
It's a huge lift, right? Yes. I mean, Russell in spades, right? Because it was multiples for Russ.
Yeah. That might be the greatest trade ever if it keeps going this way.
It's turning out to be really good for, again, one side, and not so good for the other side because the results just aren't there, and they're locked in. They people keep asking me, "Oh, what can the Broncos do?" And I'm like, nothing. Like they don't have any hope right now, right? He just has to play better. Like that's it. That's all they got.
EJ, I'm curious. Do you enjoy the sadness in Broncos fans' eyes as much as I do on the daily right now? Because it's just a joy to see, and it brings a lot of warmth to my heart.
I'm sure that I don't.
Okay.
That is a very specific brand of happiness. It's much like, the 2-game stretch we had 2 games ago where the Packers were completely washed and everybody in green and gold lost their mind. I'd say I probably felt some similar pang of joy deep within my soul for, just 2 games, but then Christian Watson exploded and they were back again. So, it's ugly like that.
Plus, I think that EJ, being a Bears fan, that has like no sports hate for the AFC West.
I guess I just assume that everybody hates the Broncos as they should.
Well, it's funny. My only
there are
any kind of angst against the Broncos is from my time living in Seattle as a kid when the Hawks and the Broncos were deadly rivals, right? They were in the same division. They played each other. Like that was the whole Orange Crush thing. And like everybody hated the Broncos and, Atwater and Largent and the whole bit. Like but that's like, that feels like it is truly ancient history that, the modern Broncos, I don't love them, don't hate them, was hoping their offense would actually get to a functional status. We'd been saying that we'd like to see that as football fans for a couple of years.
Russ sacked for a big loss, 11-yard loss on 3rd and 5.
There's a segue.
Was it a failed scribble play, Brandon?
He was dancing around a little bit, looking downfield. They were definitely looking downfield for a big play.
It's a 13-10 game, and they got to show the Cowboys cremating the Vikings 37-3 rather than show us.
He just had immediate pressure off the left side, and then he had to step up into the pocket, but then he stepped back and didn't see the other defender coming off the edge.
Oh.
So, yeah. Now the Broncos punting away back to Vegas. All right. I had to interrupt with that.
No, it's all good. It was a perfect interruption. I was just talking about the wanting to the Broncos offense to be functional. And you're like, Russ, sacked. I'm like, there you go.
Well, as a Bears fan, you have a little trade history between the Broncos, right?
For sure. And it ain't great. So you can just keep tearing open old wounds.
Top 5 Bears quarterback in history.
Uh-huh.
For smoking?
No.
He, but you want to talk about quarterback purgatory, quarterback limbo. The only reason that looks great is because what's on either side of it for many years is absolute shite, right? It's, speaking of Broncos greats, Kyle Orton. Kyle Orton can be considered one of the best Bears quarterbacks for win percentage. And yeah, that's right. That's the proper response right there, is like, oh my God, Kyle Orton's considered good. He is. Ask a lot of Bears lifers, and Kyle Orton is like, oh, we never should have traded Kyle Orton. Like, for real. So the whole like Jay Cutler thing is like, Jay Cutler was the most middle of the road NFL quarterback ever. Like, look at his win-loss record. Lifetime. Like, the guy played a lot too. This is not some guy that had like 30 starts, and he was 15 and 15. And you're like, well, I guess he was average. Like, guy played for 11 years. He was dead down the middle. Like, he was one game off from being like completely 500 with 2 different franchises over a decade.
But that's pretty good for a Bears quarterback, though, right?
It's great for a Bears quarterback,
media,
but overall, people are like, "Oh, Cutler this and Cutler that," and I'm like, Cutler was 500 right down the numbers, man. Didn't matter where he was. That is not greatness. That is literally the definition of average. So, was he more exciting than what came before him? Yeah. Was he more talented? 100%. There's a lot of talented NFL quarterbacks that don't really make a mark. People these days don't know who Jeff George was.
Oh yeah.
And like Jeff
Number
George
1.
could freaking sling it.
For the Colts.
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
that guy had an arm and a half. Did he ever win anything? No.
Nope.
Played in like 4 places. Never won anything. Was he
Everybody hated him, right?
wildly talented quarterback? Yeah, he was crazy talented.
Because his
EJ,
teammates hated him, right?
There's a lot that went into that. I mean, I never met. I certainly didn't have any contact with folks in the league. It certainly seemed like, he was. I often compared Cutler to him in the fact that it just didn't seem like folks were connected and wouldn't necessarily go to the wall for him all the time. But crazy talented quarterback, didn't win.
I was just thinking about Jeff George yesterday, EJ, and I was thinking that the modern Jeff George is Carson Wentz. A guy who's got.
I think that's an insult to Jeff George.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I just meant more like on the personality side of things, just because how much
Maybe
George was kind of there's not a lot of dudes that really like Jeff George. I mean, you can tell he wore out his welcome everywhere he went, and that's kind of how it's feeling with Wentz.
Yep, I could see that parallel. They're such different guys and slightly different players too. But from that angle, yeah, it's similar. That's a similar path.
Second
He had
and
more
5
arm
for the
talent.
Raiders
George had more
right
arm
here.
talent than Wentz, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's not even anybody that tells you that Carson Wentz could throw it like Jeff George didn't watch Jeff George throw it. Like Wentz can uncork some, and he can still do it. That's the thing. Is it's like that's one of the most before he got hurt and Heineke took over. Like that was the most high variance play in the NFL this year was the Carson Wentz ball down the boundary, because he would just muck it up the entire game, and all of a sudden he just uncork one to the cover 2 hole and hit Terry McLaurin in stride. And you're like, holy crap, that was a lightning bolt. Like that throw for Carson Wentz is the bolt from the blue, and the rest of it's just like, oh God, what are you doing, Carson? And then he uncorks one of those down the boundary, and you're just like, oh my God, that's why they wanted him. All right, yeah, I can see the allure, but you don't get anything in between. It's that or junk.
I mean, going back to the conversation about Geno too. I mean, it's in bringing the Bears' history at quarterback is a good way to talk about it, just because that's what I wanted to avoid, and I just. That's why I didn't want to get rid of Russ. No matter all the stuff that has come out since, all the things that we were thinking, it's like I want to hold on to at least something good, just because I know that he can be good.
Yep.
And
no, it is a very scary leap to take off the cliff, and nobody wants to do it, and people get really irrational about it, and rightfully so, because you never know when the next boat's coming, right? You're jumping in the river, and you don't know if you're just going to sit there for like a decade.
And I think as Seahawks fans, we have Russ, we have Matt Hasselbeck, you have Dave Craig before that, you got Jim Zorn, and if you put those 4 quarterbacks up against the Bears' history of quarterbacks, like
it obliterate most of them. I mean, if you're talking about any kind of modern history, Super Bowl era, absolutely crushes it. Absolutely.
What about Rex Grossman? How dare you guys?
Oh, come on. Unleash the sex dragon. Oh my God. That guy, he was something else. And that was it was like Carson Wentz, but like turned up, I still have that somewhere, that Rex Grossman t-shirt. It's the like Rex Grossman fan club. And it basically just says, F it, I'm going deep. Unleash the dragon on the bottom, because that was one of his quotes from a post-game press conference. Sometimes you just got to unleash the dragon.
I can't remember that.
Oh yeah, no, I'll find that little Well, you can find it, Brandon. You just search Rex Grossman like T-shirt. You'll see the little Rex Grossman logo in a circle. That's a classic.
Sojin in the chat saying Fields was cart off at the end of the game. Did he get hurt?
Oh yeah, he got the hell beat out of him today.
Oh,
he
geez.
took about 20 good shots today. The whole quarterback design run thing is cool, but it has its limits. And Getsy's been calling very good games for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And in the second half today, he did not. I think Justin was hurt. In fact, in our Bears podcaster chat from Windy City that we have going on, Taylor piped up and she said, do you think he's hurt? And I was like, and it was early, and I was like, injured? No. Hurt? Yeah, because there was a whole lot of runs. The throws were off his accuracy, which is pretty good. Typically, was declining, and it's like, he might have taken a shot. And then after that was early, like third quarter, he took 10 more shots. And yeah, he was tuna fish by the end of the game. He's a tough dude. We all know that, but you can't take hits like that all day. Yeah. And the refs are back to not calling late hits on him, which was an epidemic for his first year. Like every time he slid, he'd get cracked in the head and they wouldn't call it. And they finally started calling it this year. And we all kind of collectively breathed a sigh of relief, like, oh, he might survive. And there was another one late in the Falcons game. He went down, got hit late. And didn't do anything about it. And it's like, okay, like it gets tiring, but I kind of want to put him in bubble wrap at this point. It's like, I think they probably need to sit him a week, even though they need a bye really badly, and it's not next week. So I think you probably maybe just sit him until the bye, because he's been trying to pull the sled largely by himself, and there is not enough talent around him on this Bears team to pull when he's not in top form, which he has been for the last month. And when he gets dinged up and can't, when he's gotten it out and can't make all the throws that he can typically make, there are not enough playmakers on the Bears right now to go, hey, Justin, it's cool. Like, hand it off a couple times. We got you. We'll pull the sled for you.
First down for the Raiders right here. 4 seconds on the play clock. Getting the snap off. They do.
Jacobs is starting to get some runs going.
Yeah, he's been pounding it up the middle here for a good 5, 6, 7 yards.
You've been noticing that, Adam? Carr's been missing some open dudes.
Oh my gosh, that was a touchdown on that seam route. He had
him by like 8 yards.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. And then what I loved is that the flag gets thrown for
legal contact
on Adams on the opposite side of the field, and Derek is clapping, or David's clapping. Like, which one is it? No,
Derek.
Derek.
It's Derek.
Yeah,
I do that all the time.
Thank you, EJ, because I do it all the time. Yeah, he's clapping for it because he's all excited, and he's pointing down at the receiver that he threw to and just airmailed, and it wasn't even on him.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he's struggling right now.
Then they false start here.
Yeah, this feels Raidersy.
That I was gonna say, that's very Raiders. Like, they were on 3 down this week on bootleg largely because everything. Carr's not pulling the trigger. Like, he's not just missing guys like he did there. He also, what we called out this week from last Sunday's game, was just not seeing guys. Like, he is not seeing guys come across the middle. And he's, checking down, and that is not going to help. And look, he's not getting a ton of help from around him either. Play calling hasn't been outstanding. Josh Jacobs, on the other hand, has been really, really good this year, like exceptionally good. One of the top 5 backs in the NFL, I think. But it's unfortunately going to be a wasted effort. It's going to be one of those years that, guy goes off and does everything he can for his team, but the rest of the team can't pull the weight.
EJ says he's settling for a lot of check downs, and as he says the word check downs, the ball hits the running back in his hands on a little flare route and gets 0 yards
with two defenders right in front of him.
Yeah,
here, catch this ball, beat those 2 guys for me.
Yeah, right. Here, take the hit for me. I don't want to take it. So this guy's coming at me, so I'm going to throw it at you because that guy's coming at you, and you're paid to do it. Like, No, it's the Raiders. I feel for Raiders fans right now. There are, again, a lot of good individual performances, as there are on almost every NFL team, but they're not adding up right now, and it's not a fun brand of football to watch right now.
By
57 yarder. They're going for a 57 yarder.
Oh, I
Okay.
think they were going to go for this.
This is
Yeah,
big.
4th and 11, 50.
I think he's going to get
by
it.
Carlson.
Does he think he has prime Janikowski? Is that who they think their kicker is?
He missed an easier one. I'll take that one. I'm going to have to go, guys, but it's been a lot of fun.
This is
Great to meet
good.
you, EJ. I always
It's
enjoy
good.
it.
Oh, he drilled it.
He drilled it.
Carlson doesn't miss. You said Carlson missed one, Clinton?
He missed earlier this game, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, he missed one early on. I think it was. Oh yeah, it was just a wide right. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay, that's his first. That's his first miss. Like, he hasn't missed in Allegiant like ever.
Okay.
Like, he's got like a 46 field goal string going in Allegiant.
Oh,
okay.
He never misses at home. So
Wow.
I mean, he's a hell of a kicker. He's quiet about it, but
beautiful one right there. That was a beautiful one right there.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that much leg.
I didn't know he was Justin Tucker Jr.
only apparently only in Vegas. I didn't know he missed one today on the road, but there you go.
All right. Good to meet
All right,
you,
Bill.
EJ.
Absolutely,
Johnny.
Clinton. Good to
Bill.
see you.
And go Cards tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Phil with us. EJ, he does our. Clinton had to bow out before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before you came in, but
My bad.
no, it's all good.
How dare you? Jesus.
Apparently.
You should know every single host.
That's
as
right.
Part of our
Every
network
single
of hosts. EJ.
Right. The networks of hosts for every single fan base. I wish I could. That would actually be really fun, because there's we've had a lot of fun talking to what do you consider yourselves? Like, I don't want to call you regional. I mean, Seahawks podcasters, yeah, but like, I don't know. I don't want to be. What do you call yourselves?
You can't offend us, number one, EJ. So don't worry about
now. Let's not open that conversation.
that. Yeah, no,
I mean, I am,
pretty
like,
unoffendable.
Half Irish with a
Samuel
mom who was
coming in
raised
with
in
the-
Hawaii. I can insult folks. Like, it's in my repertoire.
Sam coming in with the $3 super chat for the 3 points for the Raiders. Terrible decision, but glad it worked.
Heck
Okay.
yeah, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I we often just call ourselves a couple dork chops from Montana talking about football, you know? Like,
Yeah, we do the same, and it's funny, we hang out with the Rockpile guys a lot, who do the longest running Buffalo Bills podcast, Rockpile Report, and we squatted in their studio while we were in Buffalo. Drew and Chris were nice enough to have us so that I could do the Thursday night live stream there, and then we did the Monday podcast there. But they're very much the same way. They're like, we're just a couple of guys with internet access, beers, who like the Bills. Like, that's what we are. So no, it's really
I'll
fun.
take Brian's here and just modify it a little bit. We would be professional sports analysts with an international audience. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
not journalists, but analysts.
yeah, the journo tag is tough. No, I really enjoy Brandon and I have known each other for years now, and I really enjoy the interactions I have with folks that do this all over the league and all over the world. Quite frankly, I've been on the Irish Bears show. I was on an Italian Bears show. I'm trying to get on a Brazilian show because there's just passionate fans all over the world. And like, I'm sitting with 4 Italian guys, and they asked me to go on, and I was like, I don't know, sure, why not? We'll do it. I don't know what I'm getting into here, but and I don't speak Italian, so I was at the mercy of them being very kind to me, and they were amazing. And like 2/3 of the way through the podcast, they reveal that they wrote a book that was published in Italy on the history of the Bears.
Wow.
And I was like, did I miss that? Come again? You did what? And like, one of them holds it up, and they're like, oh yeah, we published this like 3 years ago. Like, 2 of us wrote it, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is, people are like, well, I go to a bar, I drink beer and watch my team. I know what I'm doing. I'm like, they wrote a freaking book on 50 years worth of history of the Bears.
That's loud.
And there's just really quality fans anywhere you go. And some of the greatest joy I get in this, I hesitate to call it a job, but it is a job now, is interacting with folks like that and picking their brains and having them ask me questions and me getting to ask them questions. And they, it is very different when you focus on one team. I think about the Bears a lot. I think about the Seahawks some because I live in the Northwest. But it is very different when you live and breathe one team and one team only. And think about, and then there are people with niches within that, right? They just talk about quarterback player. They just talk about defensive play. One of my good friends
knows like hardcore or
one of my good friends, Craig Stout, who was with Arrowhead Pride and now works for KCSN, is one of the best defensive analysts I know. And he just works with the Chiefs. So he is incredibly familiar with Spagnuolo's defense and also does some draft work. And that combination is incredibly powerful. Like he can look at a defender and go, this guy's a lock fit for the Chiefs, right? He's going to play this role. Spags likes this about guys like this. And to me, I'm just a sponge. I'm just like, oh, that's so cool, right? Because it's so cool when you come across expertise like that, and it's everywhere. Like there's so much of it. So yeah, I love the interactions. It's a chance for me to learn, and there's just so much great knowledge. And I'm gonna make Brandon blush. He's a freaking champ. He just always makes me sound amazing in terms of audio engineering and great questions, super well organized. Anytime he throws me an invite, I'm like, I was at the bar this morning watching the first round of games. He's like, we're going to do a live stream. I was like, if I get home, I'll hop on because I know what I'm getting. It's not some random international.
Well, not chat. Prepared today. This is 100% winging it, EJ.
And it's still great. So there you go.
He's been lifting me up for years, man. His back's got to be awful sore.
I know. He's going to hurt his back here carrying us, but that's okay, Adam.
We'll 3rd and 4 for the Broncos. Russ rolling out. He's got to throw it away. They're rolling too. They
were
that pass to Sutton where he just steps over the guy for a first down, and then they get the Russ throws it out to the left in the flat, and they get.
I hate to tell you, but somebody's going to have to try and win this game.
Ooh.
Well, field goal attempt here.
Adam's chucking stuff. He's pissed.
Down.
I love the dedication though. Doing it from the driver's seat. This is solid.
Well, I can check into my Airbnb in about 10 minutes. So
okay. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
It's good.
Bronco McKicker wasn't going to miss that.
16 points, though. I think they hit their limit, guys. The question is, can the Raiders score more than 16 points?
Did you see the stat that we had on Bootleg this week?
Was it the one about the 18 points? If the Broncos,
if the Broncos had scored 18 points in regulation in every game this year, they'd be 8-1.
Yeah.
Did you see the other part to that though too? That if that last year the Broncos with Drew Lock scored 20 points per game.
I tend not to bring Drew Lock up to Broncos fans right now.
They miss him,
given the state that they're in as a fandom. I think that's incendiary, and they already kind of know. So I don't need to remind them because it's kind of like walking by somebody on a Friday night that's having a really tough time and they might be laying down for a minute, taking a rest. I'm not going to kick them. I'm just going to keep walking and go, hey, man, you want some water? Like, I know it's bad down there. Sorry. Been there. It's no fun.
All right, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. So Airbnb, huh?
Oh yeah. Just out on a work trip here in Oregon, down by Hood
where?
River.
Down by where?
Yeah. Hood River, and just gonna work at a sawmill here for the next 3 days, and then
no kidding.
Be done with that, and then I'm hoping to take the big plunge like you did, EJ, like here at the beginning of the year, and be done with this, and kind of
it's a heck of it's weird. People ask me about it. I just ran into a colleague that I used to work with last night, kind of randomly, and she was all full of questions. And I was like, yeah, feel free to fire away. Like, and I tell people it is the weirdest job going. Like there is not a weirder job. I maybe there is. I'm sure people are going to throw the comments in the chat about all the weird jobs that are out there. It is. I have had a lot of jobs in my life. And this is, this is the weirdest by far for me. Yeah. And it's still, People ask you what you do, and it kind of depends on how much you want to talk about it. Because when you go, well, if I don't want to talk about it, I'm just like, oh, I'm sports information or something. They're like, oh, okay.
Right.
But if I'm on a plane and don't feel like it's a bad thing to talk about it for 2 hours, I'll be like, oh, I run a professional football podcast, and that's what I do now. And they're like, what? How do first question?
How did you get to doing that?
Right? How do you get to doing that? But the first question is, how do you make money doing that? And that's 20 or 30 minutes worth of explanation right there, because it's not just one thing, which is, that was mine and your gig for a long time, which is you show up, you do a thing, they pay you a check, and that's how you make money. Right. And this is not that. So, it is a very different structure, but no, I hope you can.
It's happening one way or the other, man. So, yeah, this is happening.
Like, I'm pulling the parachute. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Yep.
Best of luck either way, because, if it's happening and you're going to put your head down and make it happen, then all the best.
Oh, gosh, you threw that so high.
What? You didn't need to moonball that thing.
I feel like we're, this is major leagues. It's not coming out. It's too high.
Too high.
What is this too high? What are you talking about?
It was too high. It let the corner get his hand right on it.
That was an arm punt, dude.
Yeah. There are those.
Although, did he get there too early? No, probably.
I don't know. I get to watch Kirk Cousins get crushed for the 15th time now.
Oh boy, that had such a feeling of a trap game, because the Vikings been hot for a couple of weeks, and everybody's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna Viking, man. Being an NFC North fan, I was like, they're gonna Viking. And like 11 seconds into it, Micah Parsons just blasts Cousins and forces a fumble. And I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, it's a strategy by the Raiders. This is put the ball back in Russell Wilson's hands with 3 minutes left to go, and have it in Russ's hands rather than the Broncos defense's hands.
Oh boy. If I had to pick one of the two units on the Broncos, I too would not be fighting with their defense.
Josh McDaniels, he knows what he's doing here.
That's a stretch.
I was gonna say, those words don't collide often in a sentence.
Yeah, that's a stretch. I don't know. Josh McDaniels has had so much success in New England and so little success anywhere else that it is again, we're talking about high variance things with Carson Wentz. Josh McDaniels is the definition of high variance NFL coaching. Like in New England, Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls.
Yep.
Outside of New England, fired after, not even 2 years really. Ran a star quarterback out of town, the aforementioned Jay Cutler. Didn't even take the other job after committing to it. That's how Frank Reich ended up as the Colts coach for a while. Ends up back in New England. Finally, like this is I would say his path to the Raiders was a quote unquote normal one. Like he's pursued in the offseason not as a free agent coach, but as a coach to be, shows up, signs a contract, shows up, does the whole thing. And this is kind of one of the more normal shots he's had. The first shot was very early with the Broncos. He was a young assistant at that time, and that can be a real struggle. This one is like tenured coach, has had the reins before, regular, pursuit. And, so far, like, doesn't look great. And unfortunately, the NFL, we were talking about it for quarterbacks earlier, but for everybody these days is, what have you done for me lately? And lately is last week. And if last week's not good, it's not looking too good. The whole like 3 to 5 year plan thing, no, it doesn't exist, because people turn things around. I mean, look at Jeff Saturday with the Colts. Yeah. Like the Colts were garbage 3 weeks ago. Jeff Saturday gets pulled off the high school sidelines and the Colts start winning. So you think there's going to be any tolerance for anybody that comes in and goes, oh, you got to give me 3 years to turn the ship around? They're like, Jeff Saturday did it in 2 weeks. So,
with audio working there, I'm going to take
does
him.
EJ know about the Let's Ride curse?
Yeah,
he's familiar.
Yeah, all right. Because this game is a little bit of a test, just based on how bad the Raiders are. Like, can the Broncos, hindered by the Let's Ride curse, still overcome
a middling team like the Raiders?
right?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, but
Now, is Brandon Perna familiar with the Let's Ride curse? Like, does he know?
I
that
don't
he was
know if
actually,
he's
like, we actually cursed Russell Wilson. And
yeah,
that's why
I'm sure he's heard of it. It's funny because you asked me about Brandon earlier, and I was just talking with him yesterday. I don't talk with him all the time, but we were having some back and forth about the eventual heat death of Twitter, and whether or not we thought that was going to happen. And he also popped up on our Thursday night live stream this week, and I had said something about good breakfast foods. We were wandering off topic as we do in the second half, and I was talking about chili relleno, and he's like, he put up a super chat and said you should come to Denver and get green chili, Colorado green chili rellenos. And I was like, I'm holding you to it, Brandon. Like, I would love that. That'd be amazing. I enjoy the Denver area. Used to go there for work every other year, and I haven't been in a while, and it would be cool. Brandon was out here on vacation last summer before, I forget. We didn't get a chance to connect just because of where his agenda was taking him, but I was like, rain check. So we'll make it happen. I don't know if it'll be for Broncos game. Might be something we do out of football season, but Perna's a great guy. He and Adam 5 Points Vids, who they run Benchwarmer Brew Coffee Company, and they sent me some coffee last year. I was talking crap about their coffee, and they were nice enough to send me a bag of it. So now Perna's a quality guy. He's good dude.
Samuel points out still room for a punt return touchdown. Now that would be Let's Ride curse perfect.
Like, that would be Let's Ride curse personified. Yeah, that would be impressive.
Or pick six. I mean, I don't think that
that's the thing is, I'm like
throwing it here though.
You were talking about turning it back over to the Broncos offense on purpose, and I was like, okay, so who's going to get the pick six for the Raiders? And I was thinking about it. I'm just going to check their depth chart.
No, they've done 4 straight runs to Latavius Murray.
It's definitely not going to be Gordon.
They don't have a lot of big time playmakers. I mean,
fumble issues.
Trayvon Merrick, Deron Harmon used to be. I think he's past that. Rocky Sin's a good physical corner. Anthony Averett, sort of, but if anybody had like flash ability to grab the ball and run it back, I'd say Trayvon Merrick, but he hasn't even shown a lot of that this year. And then Amik Robertson is much maligned at nickel. I liked him coming out, but a lot of people thought he was Marcus Jones before Marcus Jones.
Max Crosby, pick six, Max Crosby.
I would be all about that. And actually, Max Crosby is people forget that Max Crosby is a crazy athlete. Like, everybody's like, oh, he developed, and yeah, he did. He absolutely is a much better rusher than he was in college, but he was always a crazy athlete. His RAS was like 9.6 or something.
Just saying that. Okay, we're out of the 2-minute warning now.
It's Chandler
3rd and
Jones
10.
time.
So they're probably gonna have to pass it here.
Yeah, it's Chandler Jones time. He followed Russ all the way to the
Oh yeah, we haven't seen
AFC
Chandler
West.
Jones.
Yep.
Okay, Brandon, that's why you have me on. Max Crosby, RAS. For listeners, viewers not familiar with RAS, it's relative athletic score put together by a guy named Cantley Platty.
Right. Gets rid of it. Out of bounds.
9.64. I said 9.6. 9.64.
You just had that off the top of your head, and I didn't challenge you on it at all.
Yeah, because I was right.
Because you were
dead on. Anyways, no, he's elite, and his speed grade was always elite. He ran a 4.66.
God, at that size.
Yeah, at 255 pounds at the combine.
4th down for the Broncos.
Yeah, he's always been fast with a 10-yard split of 1.62. Like, like Max has always been a really, really good athlete. So, I would put my money on him as a wild card to run it back. That would be fun.
I'll take a car stat right now.
Yeah,
game winning or tying drive.
Broncos defense again. I like the Broncos defense being in this position
for the Broncos.
For the Broncos, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was like,
let's
not
be
from-
clear.
Yeah.
Are you trying to support the curse here? Because that
No,
sounds bad.
I'm just saying this is. I'm feeling like this is an uphill climb for the curse to make.
Yes.
Because the Broncos' defense is on the field, and they're really good.
However, curses have,
down the seam, maybe.
used to have a youth football coach that would say the ball isn't round. And when we were little, we didn't really understand that. And what he was saying is just weird crap happens in football. The ball's not round. It bounces funny. And sometimes it just, things that shouldn't happen.
I mean, that is the point of the curse, Andy, is that it's supposed to show its head in like the worst possible times. Oh, there's a throw over the middle.
completion to the
The
50.
Raiders to midfield.
Tick, 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 tick.
To
Raiders are out of timeouts.
Gotta go.
Hey, let's get
Gotta
that
go.
field goal and have a curse 16 all tie. I'll take that. The number 16 has popped up for the Broncos so many times this year.
Shit. If only it was 19.
Oh, he's wide open.
Oh, we got
He's
him.
going down the sideline. Oh, he needed to get out of bounds. What's he doing?
No, he didn't. Go down there and just spike it. That's fine.
I suppose
I mean, getting out of bounds would have been better.
it would have been better. But, yeah, they have
But,
plenty of time on the
Raiders
clock
don't
up there and
necessarily do what's better this year, do they?
fight. He's trying. I suppose he's trying to score. They get up. They clocked it. Oh,
All right.
Oh, I thought he was going to Marino it there for a second.
Oh, yeah.
no, I
Fake
think
it.
the Broncos took that timeout.
Fake spike.
Yeah.
Oh. Are you
Did Marcus take that timeout?
appreciating all the effort I went to? Like, wearing my thumb out, opening my app and setting my lights as green and blue.
I actually did notice that the lights were set to green and blue.
There you
and
go, Adam.
I actually meant to
Look,
ask
he's
you
even
about
got
it.
his bootleg Seahawks T-shirt on. They got the
See, look at
yeah.
all the details that are popping up here. It's
Well,
crazy.
Look, man, like you're a professional. We all know. We all know.
Oh, I struggle with that label, but yes, officially I do
know.
get paid for it now. So yeah, I
You
am.
make more than
43
50%
yards
of your
to
money.
Jacobs is the longest play of the game so far. And here the Raiders go from the 7, throws to the end zone over his head.
So the Broncos called a timeout there and made it so that
no
now the Raiders
reason.
will have an extra shot.
Yeah, they wanted to be ready.
Hey, now they're ready to lose. Look at that.
Again, if you're leaning on one unit on the Broncos, defense is a very good unit to be leaning on. That is a wired up team. Well, wired up half a team.
Yeah. Well, then don't call the timeout. Trust your defense
Second
and
and goal.
you let them burn a play.
11
That's-
seconds on the clock.
That's kind of what I would say, unless they
Got
really
Adam
wanted a
Promotion across
substitution.
the line here. Carr with the snap. Quick throw. Oh, off his hands. Oh, off the running back's hands.
Golly, that was a circus for no reason. Woo!
I'm gonna steal that, Adam. A circus for no reason. That's
It's all yours,
lovely.
bud. Yeah.
That's lovely. I can think of so many uses right now.
Off Jacobs' hands. Off the Broncos' hands. Off Jacobs' face mask.
Golly.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's
Third and goal.
I have
12
found
seconds
that
left on the play clock.
there is almost nothing as fun as garbage
8,
time.
7, 6. Come on, get the playoff here. Carr. Snap. Here we go. Someone behind him. Oh, incomplete.
You kicked the field goal, yeah?
You got to kick the field goal here. 19 seconds left.
I don't know. You could,
Well,
how popular would that play call be with McDaniel's like, no, we're going to throw it because if you don't hit it, we get a draft pick for your replacement.
That is the ultimate pressure down there.
getting
for-
Pretty much
Yeah.
like
as
you're
the-
throwing so
for
that
it.
we don't have to draft CJ Stroud. Go for it.
Well, see, McDaniels doesn't know about the curse. He probably would have been.
Oh,
probably
he knows
would've
about the
been-
curse. He's been watching it not put up points all year.
And it's
Oh.
good. 16, 16,
All right.
16 seconds left.
Wow. Gonna get
Regulation.
bonus live stream time. You guys are so lucky.
Oh, I feel lucky. Hey, here's the problem though, Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm about to run out of battery, so I don't think I'm going to have enough battery for overtime.
go check in. It could be a long overtime.
It could be. Yeah. No, I could go check in. I got to go across the river here again, go across the Columbia and see if I can find the thing.
All right.
I'm still rooting for the 16 all tie though. I kind of like that. Because then I get my buddy Jared's a giant Broncos fan, EJ, and he is the worst winner in the history of winners. He's actually a pretty gracious loser, but he's a terrible winner. He even will let you know. And so this has been so just blessed this Broncos season. Because after the Russell trade, oh my God, this offseason was insufferable.
Yeah, I'm sure that you got both ears full. You know, and he wasn't alone, and they had very, very good reason. You, as a Seahawks fan, you're fully aware of all the good reasons they had to be excited about that prospect, that potential. And it was, they filled it up, right? We filled it up. We really thought the AFC West was going to be something, and we ate a little crow on this week's bootleg. We, you know, our entire 3 down segment was AFC West. We had the Broncos offense in there. We had the Raiders as a sum total and the Chargers injuries. And so we just kind of did a whole mea culpa section in 3 down this week of the AFC West not being the giant robot division we thought it was going to be. And of course the Chiefs are doing their own thing that they always do. But yeah, we were like, okay, so we were wrong because 3 of them are struggling.
Yeah. The only thing I was wrong about to Broncos fans about the Russ trade was that they were going to get second half of the year Russell Wilson right around, you know, the second half of the year.
Yeah.
But now it's just all the year Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I was going to say that started right off. Like I actually had Brandon Stickett
on first and 10 with 16 seconds left. He's from shotgun. I thought they might just kneel it down here. Oh, he just checks it down to the running back.
Wow. All right.
Oh, it's a give up homer play. There it is.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Oh, Hackett's using that last time out.
With 7 seconds? Why?
With 7 seconds left.
On your own 30?
Hackett can't go into overtime with with an unused timeout.
Does he get a lash like from a willow branch for every timeout he leaves on the board at the end of the game?
You'd think with that kind of decision. Wow. It's compelling football. It's not necessarily good football. It's compelling for like who's gonna figure out how to win this game. But
7 seconds left. Where can you take? Oh, now they don't have any timeouts to be able to take a shot toward the middle of the field. You got to take a shot at the side.
Come on, Chandler Jones strip sack in return to that scoop and
man,
to throw out to the sideline. Oh, 3 seconds left. Okay.
You can't do anything except a Hail Mary.
Or hear me out. 78-yard field goal.
Bronco McKicker was just thinking about it. Did you see him? See his face?
He's like, I was hitting 71 in warm-ups. Let's go. I'll take the shot, coach. Oh, man.
I have no idea if that's the actual length of the field goal.
No.
It feels right. Yeah.
It feels right. Now that's you see the kickers, they get excited, right? They're like, oh, wait. NFL record?
3 seconds left. This will be the last play. Russ and shotgun. 1 second. I thought they were going to take delay a game there.
Chris, with the real question is
in the middle, incomplete, going to overtime.
Yeah, Chris, the real question, who's going to figure out how to lose? Well, they both have experience in that area, so it's
battle
tough
of the anti-clutch.
It's tough to handicap the horses there. That's tough. Hackett clapping for some reason.
Yeah, I love that one.
That's a great 30 for 30. So why was Hackett clapping at the end of a 16-16?
Great job, guys. We had 7 seconds to go the length of the field, and we got about half of it. Amazing job, boys.
Anybody want orange slices?
Yay!
Oh, boy. We've had a lot of fun on the end of some of the Thursday night games, which were not great games, but we've got a primary sponsor this year who's a betting sponsor, and we've got, we get to put a slip up at the front of the game and, a slip up for the second half as well. And I got to say, many of those have come down to the last 2 minutes worth of play. It's like, we need one more touch for somebody. Keeps it interesting,
Yeah, for sure. This is the first year that I've been involved in any of the betting stuff, and it's been a learning curve. And it's been fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I would highly agree that it's a learning curve, and I don't get to put slips in because I live in Washington, and Washington doesn't allow online betting.
But you
Yeah.
can still go into the app and calculate your bets, what it would be, and
I can. We just put in one slip combined right now. When
Okay.
Washington gets out of its own way, and I can put a slip up, we'll both put one up, and that'll be fun because we'll have kind of I don't agree with you slips, right? We've had a couple of those this year, and I don't have the ability to retaliate with my own slip and be like, no, that's a terrible idea. He's not going to get that many receptions. I could just say, not sure why you did that.
cracking
right.
me up. Who will win in overtime? The circus peanuts or the good and plenties?
Oh man, it kind of feels like a battle of the circus peanuts and the good and plenties at this point. 16-16. It's not like one of those, instant classics that they're going to be showing on Monday where both teams threw up like 38 points and there was a last second tie that took them to overtime. It's like, we kind of ground our way to 16-16 and muddled our way into overtime. Then what happened?
I'm kind of hoping for a head injury here right after this game is over so I can forget about it. Like that'd be ideal.
Hoping for your own head
I
injury.
don't like to root for head injuries, but I'd really like to forget this game.
Yeah.
Well, yes. We'll just leave that one alone. We're not rooting for any head injuries. There are definitely some guys. I mean, every week there are. It's the hardest part of doing this gig is watching guys just get churned up, and it's part of the sport. But there were some rough ones this week, both college and pro. So
No, we would never root for an athlete head injury. But,
Nope, just my own.
No. Yeah, the self head injury. That's the first time I think I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Did the Broncos?
I was just trying to figure out a way to forget this thing.
That's a little mind erasure. You just need the thing for Men in Black, man. Yeah. That didn't seem to have that many effects.
We're trying to live in reality, though, EJ. Like,
whatever you still want.
Why with this game? Why are you trying to live in this particular reality?
Yeah.
I would alter this reality if I had the chance. Oh, goodness,
it shouldn't be real. Yeah.
So,
Charlie pointing out, if the Broncos scored 18 points, they would have won outright.
Oh God. Oh God.
Add another one. The Broncos would be 9-1, Carly.
Speaking of curses, oh man, that's rugged. It's especially in the modern NFL, right?
Yeah.
Like if your defense is good enough to hold the other team at sub 20 points every single week, which they are, you should win some of those. But they just can't. And it's the funny thing to me is it's if you're talking about typical scoring, it's 2 touchdowns and a field goal, right? 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points and a field goal, right? Gets you out of 18 points, right? So
Raiders take the kickoff. What were they, over the 30? It was a pretty good kickoff return by the Raiders there.
Yeah, they have a decent return unit.
Play-by-play is not.
Yeah, for kick return, I think they're a little bit better. They've got Keelan Cole returning punts, and he's not as dynamic. But we're talking about return guys that are fun. We got a chance to see the Cowboys returner in person when we went down to AT&T when they played the Bengals. That guy is a ball lightning. He's a lot. He's a lot of fun.
Is there anybody that can return punts for the Seahawks? Because
that they'll use is the question mark, because I think there are, but as you know, considering the fans, the team you're a fan of, NFL coaches are risk averse, and fielding it is a whole lot more important to them than returning it. Like they field it is a must, return it is a nice. And if they don't feel like they're going to do the first part every time, I don't care how electric or exciting they are, they're not going to get the chance, because ain't nothing worse than, holding the team
wide open over the middle. Oh! No! Down to the 35.
Big play to I think even a field goal does this for them, right? I don't see the Broncos going back down and getting points.
I wouldn't bet on it. Like, they haven't shown that ability for most of the afternoon.
No,
so
I would absolutely have no hesitation kicking a field goal if I'm the Raiders in this situation.
Oh, please, God, let the Broncos lose with 16 points again. I can't wait to call Jared tonight. That would be he's so good.
Is there a stronger motivation in sports than rubbing it in your buddy's face?
No, it's the best one.
Wide open! Touchdown!
Oh, touchdowns! There it is. Turn out the lights.
Davante Adams wide open, nobody on him, gets the touchdown.
How do you do that?
Davante Adams uncovered in overtime on a play action fake.
I think this is, I don't want to say it's uniquely AFC West, but this feels like an AFC West condition to me because the other player that I scream that about all the time also plays in the AFC West. Kelsey.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like, when the Chiefs need a play, they're going to Kelsey. 100%. They're going to Kelsey.
They've struggled for a while.
They're in overtime. They need to get in range. They're going to Kelsey. And Kelsey always gets the reception. And I'm like, you didn't cover Kelsey? Come on, man. He's the guy right now. Like, double him for sure. And he's a great player. This is nothing against Kelsey. But he's the one that I consistently find myself like yelling at the screen, like, you didn't cover Kelsey in that situation. You didn't cover Davante Adams. Like, he's the only guy that's caught a pass all day. Mac ended up with 6 for 52 after, when I came in, I think he had 3 for 35 or something. But Davante Adams, 7 for 141 and 2 scores on the, now sum total of the day. How are you not covering that guy? Game on the line. Like, whew. The Broncos curse still riding. Yes, Jonathan. Apparently so.
Yeah.
And
you'll go over with the 2016 super chat for the
and the 18-point threshold. Holds
up.
Yep.
Holds up. Amy Holmes, $4.99 super chat. So thrilled to enjoy this with you guys. Crap game made fun. Hashtag let's ride curse. So
just screwed it up. It's pound sign.
Adam should have Bronco Jared on the podcast. Some people are in the chat are saying, call him right now. Call Jared
him right now. I would, but I've got to use my phone to do it. And
your phone doesn't have any battery.
Yeah. So I wish I could. He wouldn't answer anyway.
He knows better, probably.
Yeah. Well, he told me that the best part about this season for him is that he now has Sundays free.
Sure. You got chores to do. You're all set. Anyways, guys, thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Appreciate you, EJ.
Enjoying the end of that game. Thanks, Samuel. I know it was meant to be 22, but not 20. You don't need to fix it. You came through with a ton of super chats.
Yeah,
today.
Sam's beautiful.
Thanks, EJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care of you too. We'll do it again sometime. It was fun.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy. Well, Adam, that was a fun time. Glad we got to enjoy an overtime win with the Broncos yet again. Only scoring 16 points. And we got to face off against the Raiders next week. I don't know if we need to be super concerned. Maybe this was the best possible outcome for both the Seahawks next week and the Raiders.
And the Seahawks this week. Yeah.
And the Seahawks this week.
Yeah. No, this is a win all the way around, man. That was cool. Hey, this works.
We did it. And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.